There we go. All right, cool. We lit. We live in all them spots. There we go. Got the phone line open and shit. We popping. I don't need this open anymore, I don't think. But we'll leave it up for analytics' sake for now. Anywho, we back. Sorry about that. But I think it's fixed now. I think that, you know what I'm saying, like, everything is working exactly how it's supposed to at this point. So, I think we're good to go. Nothing seems to be going too haywire. Okay, that's good. GPU is running reasonably. CPU is running reasonably. I think we're good. Yeah, listen, I might have graduated. Not to Gen Z Jones. I think y'all are taking that a little bit too far. No, I haven't I ain't stepped my game up that high yet. All right, where's my phone at? Let's see. Do we have anybody in the ticky-tacky streets? Let's go back there. My live didn't end. We right here right now. We in this. Live didn't end. We right here right now. I see what we got to do. There we go. Take a few seconds for our YouTube people to catch up. Find out what we're doing. Yeah, man, I wanted to talk about some news shit and some more shit. Trump, per the usual, losing his effing mind. Let's see who we got in this request. I don't know who this is, but I'll go ahead and let him up. Maybe they requested by accident.
Oh my God, Mr. Jones, I didn't mean to request to join.
But you here now, so now you gotta talk.
Well, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you? Have you had some water? Have
Tell
you said
that
something
beautiful
kind
No
about
Raz
yourself?
I said hello to her as well.
I will. Thank you for the bouquet of flowers.
Okay, Mr. Jones, I'm headed to the water bottle right now. I literally just woke up. I'm getting the water right now. I have said something nice about myself because I just brushed my teeth and looked in the mirror and did that. But I am going to drink this water now.
Go ahead. Get that water.
But I will say something.
Go ahead.
I appreciate you and No Rats and all the work that you do.
I'm glad to hear that. You
So
know,
I look so forward to seeing you two every day. All right.
Sometimes it feels like...
Go ahead. What were you about to say, Mr. Jones?
No, I was just going to say, sometimes it feels like we get more hate than appreciation, which is weird. Because, like, you know, we don't try to do anything
Mr.
but
Jones,
educate
but
and motivate.
The reflection... But Mr. Jones, that's not a reflection of either one of you. It really, truly is a reflection of those people that hate on you, which is a mirror of the hateful they have for themselves or inadequacies or anything else for themselves. Because you could not express that about people that you really do not know.
Right.
If there wasn't some inner stuff going on. I mean, you cannot miss what both of your intentions are and what you come on for here every day. And if you can find someone, if anyone can find something different from that, then that's truly their perspective and how they choose to see the world around them, with a little less beauty, with a little less compassion, with a little less empathy. And that makes their world a little less bright. But I have appreciation for both of you, and what other people think of you ain't your damn business.
Right. I hear you.
So have a
Some
great
people
day.
say it's
I'm gonna
because I
get
only
down.
want
Really
opposition
be
all
up
the
here.
time. Um, but I
Well,
appreciate
I
you.
oppose. I oppose the haters. So how about that? I came up to be an op against the haters. Have a great day.
You too.
All right.
Let's be real. Mr. Joe's biggest hater.
Who is? I'm a hater?
No, I'm your biggest hater.
Oh, I was about to say, nigga, didn't I just send you money yesterday for lunch?
Whoa. I said thank you.
Oh. That's crazy.
Well, I think I hearted the message, but like, same thing.
She said I hearted the message. It's not that I only want opposition, right? Like, there's plenty of opportunities for us to, and that's why I said, if you guys join the Discord, sign up for a sub, join the Discord, and we can all get in there and have video conversations. And I'll sit in there and chit chat with y'all. I'll sit in there and talk with y'all while I'm doing stuff around the house. I promise you I will. As soon as y'all start a video chat on Discord, I'm in there.
$1,000 and I'll leak
That's
his
when you can
number
talk to
in
me.
Discord.
But on here, it doesn't make, it's not teaching anybody, right? It's not teaching anybody anything if it's just me sitting around with a bunch of people that agree with me. You know what I mean? Oh, shoot.
$1,000 and I'll leak his number in the Discord right now.
Excusez-moi.
The offer stands to anybody, by the way. I don't know why he left me here by myself.
Babe, where are the other beats?
$2K the other day. It was pretty good, I think. I don't know what day you're talking about. For Thomas, I gotta catch up. I gotta go back and watch the last 2 episodes. PR, joke's on you, I had it first. So if you don't follow Baby Jones, follow me. I'm on the road to 10K. We're almost there. I think I need like well,
I don't know if
I'll
y'all can
check.
hear me or not.
I don't
I
remember how
can't hear
much it is.
myself. Nope, that ain't gonna work. Oh, let me take these off. Shoot. Hold on a second, y'all.
Nah, Florida's still ghetto
Man, I
for
be having all
cheating.
the goddamn technical difficulties. Shit. My Beats died on me. I need to charge those. I swore they were charging too. Quinn, what'd you do with the other Beats?
There's 2 pairs of Beats.
I know. What'd you do with the other ones?
I left them on the table. You and Amanda were the ones that were moving them.
Nah, cuz they're not there. Anywho, sorry about that. But anywho, guys, let's tap that screen. Let's run the likes up. Let's try to get all of the attention. I know it's going to be hard for me to get back to the FYP because, you know, I haven't been around. I've been trying to do some community work, some self-care, work on some
Guys,
other
I
things.
promise I've been trying to get him to go live.
He has.
I
Hey,
even
who's
texted him.
going? Huh?
I was saying I even texted you.
Yep. And I said nope. Who's gone and watched on the Discord and watched the preview of the video? Who went and watched that? And if so, who's excited about it? You did? What'd y'all think? Give me some feedback. You just submitted your ticket. I think when No Rads is up, they'll be able to approve some of those tickets. I can't do that. I don't know who else can. Quentin, can you? Can you do verification approvals in
Yeah,
Discord?
I can.
In Discord?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'm one of the moderators.
Quentin might do it for y'all. You think I need a shower? I just took a shower this morning. What the fuck does that mean? Y'all are weird. Anyways, can you imagine somebody saying, who listens to this garbage? And motherfucker, I see you in here every day. So you're the one. It's you, my guy. Like if you needed to answer the question, there it is. Oh man. So, anywho, the call line is open 407-900-1693. If you disagree or would like to have a conversation about anything that you see here on the background, feel free to give us a call. Call in. Talk about your grievances. Y'all do be bitching a lot, though. I tell you that.
Never mind. I think they took those powers away from me.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, so I can't do them.
Oh, I don't even know how, so. Yeah. But hey, mods, you know what I'm saying? If they don't plan on calling in, just go ahead and mute them. You don't have to listen to anything that they have to say or read their grammatically fucked sentences. Could you imagine a bunch of like uneducated troglodytes like sitting around on YouTube complaining and then having the nerve to call like other people snowflakes and shit like that? Like, you know who I don't see crying about people they should be crying about? Like, if we were keeping it a buck, like, let's have that conversation. Let's have that conversation for real. If anybody should be complaining about any demographic of people, it should be women and queer folks complaining about white men or men in general. Literally. Like, those are literally the people that society has a reason to complain about. Those are the people that society has a reason to complain about. Like, y'all are the danger to everybody. You can't name a single societal woe that has come about that has. Oh, we have a caller. Hello, caller. How are you? Name, age, and what state are you calling from?
Nebraska, 35.
What's your
And
name?
my name's Chris.
Hey, Chris from Nebraska. How are you this morning?
Not too bad.
That's good. Have you
Not
had
too
some
bad.
water? Said something kind about yourself?
What? Sorry, what was that?
Have you had some water? Said something kind about yourself.
No, I've been drinking coffee all day.
Ooh, man, drink some water, bro. Coffee's a diuretic. You don't want to end up dehydrated. But all jokes aside, these are social media platforms. You know what I'm saying? There's a significant amount of people watching, but make sure we just don't use any slurs. I don't care if you curse or any of that shit. Just no slurs.
Oh, I was just curious how this all works because I just seen. So are you just taking like a anti-Trump position?
Who, me personally?
And then taking callers?
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I mean, with the, yes, fuck Trump, absolutely fuck Trump. But I'm not a Democrat nor a Republican. I don't really care about your political parties. I think that people that align themselves with a specific party or red or blue or I think that they're very short-sighted and don't really have a clear understanding of how the world actually works.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll agree almost 100% on that. But I'm wondering if I could pick your brain about some of Trump's policies that I feel like the media gives him unfair coverage on.
Trump has policies now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. His tariffs are a big policy.
That's not
that
a
everybody.
Policy, sir.
That's an active.
It's not a policy. You can't like create laws and shit with executive orders.
So I'm taking it you're not a fan of the tariffs?
Well, it's only because I understand history.
Why is that?
Why do I understand history? Because I.
No, I mean, what do you mean in related to the tariffs, though?
Well, if we look historically, tariffs have never been beneficial to this country. As a matter of fact, in most cases, they hurt us tremendously. The most glaring example is that is when we were putting tariffs on nations across the globe and deporting people, by the way. The Mexican Repatriation Act is the reason that we had the Great Depression. So like we deported a large, portion of our workforce, and then we put tariffs on a bunch of goods and services that we didn't have the ability to produce here in the country. So.
Oh, interesting. Because the only reason I bring up the tariffs argument is because I feel like it's one of Trump's positions that I'm the biggest fan of. And I would say it's because I've grown up a middle class. Well, I've been lower middle class for sure, if not lower class. Mm-hmm. Grown up whole life. Now I'm 35, white male, and I've never, I grew up just in the ghettos, just like all the other kids here in Omaha, Nebraska that were, some would call it the black area, but really it's just the poor area. And you tend to have more blacks there than you do in the rest of the parts of Omaha.
Well, I mean,
but that's how that could be argued, yeah. And it's probably for the most part true from, segregation and all that. Mm-hmm. But my point is like, I've never had a silver spoon either. And growing up in America today, I've just noticed that our consumerism has driven away all the jobs of any, everyone talks about, well, we don't have a middle class no more. We don't make much in America anymore. We buy everything from these outside countries that do not have the same labor practices as us. They often are, Like, look at how we're sourcing the materials for our smartphones and our TVs, and very unethical. It would never be allowed in America.
Right.
But because Americans need cheap products,
well, I don't know.
we allow that.
I wouldn't jump too deep down that rabbit hole. I mean, Republican governors across the country are trying to roll back labor laws, including child labor laws. Like in the state of Florida, where I live, you can quite literally drop out of high school and get a job, where that would be considered truancy anywhere else.
Well, I actually did do that.
Sure.
Because I don't know. I was 16.
Yeah, I'm.
And actually, I would make the argument. Well, and I'd actually make the argument, depending on the education system, you might be better off as an individual if you're not doing good in school.
How so?
To go and start working in a trade, or
not everybody can work in trades, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, what about people who are disabled? Or what about, you can't have like 10 billion HVAC technicians. Like in Florida, we need a lot of them, but everybody can't go and do, like, you have a bunch of tradespeople, right? And then they start automating a lot of the trades and a lot of the manufacturing, and then you're out of a fucking job.
Well, see, and this is where I'm a fan of tariffs. This brings it back to tariffs. What, in my opinion, what tariffs will do is it's going to make outsourcing our labor for cheap products a little bit more expensive and incentivize these big companies to manufacture more in the United States.
We can't do
now.
That,
there's going to be some,
but we can't do that.
Well, we only can't do that because we sent it all overseas. I mean, like saying we can't do that is the only reason the Allied front in World War II had any success was because of America's industrial capability.
Yes.
Now we've sold that all under
have those industrial capabilities. We don't have the manufacturing facilities. If we get rid of 12.5 million people, we're not going to have the labor force. We have 8.5 million empty jobs now. We don't have access to the raw materials, so that's going to fuck us, because if you're putting tariffs on all the raw materials coming in, even if we did have the labor force and the manufacturing, we still wouldn't be able to do it. Like, none of this makes sense. None of the pieces of the puzzle connect. We don't have the raw materials. But you're saying like we don't have the manufacturing facilities, and we don't have the labor force.
You're saying we don't, but we do. It's not economical for Americans to source their own steel, because we get cheaper steel through Chinese and Canadian imports. That is where a tariff would raise the price of those goods and make American companies.
Where we would have steel deposits in the United States, we can't necessarily extract them.
You do realize that
we have too many laws on the books that make it. Like I said, again, going back to the incentive thing.
So what are we going to do when we don't have any clean water, or, you know what I'm saying, we cut down 300% of our forests and now our air quality is shit? You know what I'm saying? Like what are you willing to give up in terms of your well-being? We're the only industrialized nation where the life expectancy of citizens is going backwards.
Well, yeah, and a lot of that, in my view, is getting back to this tariff thing. It's more meaningful jobs in America. Like right now, the only reason I am somewhat well off now is because I chose to drop out of school and start working on forklifts and becoming a mechanic very early. Mm-hmm. And then it turns out, while everybody else was going and getting student debt and degrees, that, when you're 17 years old, you don't know what you want to do the rest of your life. Sure. Like, I'm currently recovering for a rotator cuff. Mm-hmm. I was talking to my physical therapist. He invested most of his life in school for physical therapy just to find out he doesn't enjoy it and doesn't want to do it.
Right.
But you got all that school debt.
On the flip side of that, he's going to end up making several million more dollars over his lifetime than you will.
But that's false. Physical therapists make a median wage He can now, if he wants to excel in that field and he's driven, he can make more. But right now, he's just working in a basic physical recovery therapy. You know, he's making maybe the same amount of me, if not less.
How much do you make a year?
Because that, $67,000.
The average
which is a
therapist in the United States makes $99,710 a year. That's $33,000 more than you make.
That's a median across the United States.
No,
that's a median across the United States.
That's the average.
Well, the low end range
median,
is like
the average.
The low end range is like 85,000. The high end is like 100.
Well, I can tell you those rates are not those rates are off compared to what they're making here in Omaha.
Okay, well
now I'm not saying he can't make more. I'm just saying he also.
What I'm telling you is a person with a college degree, statistically, that's what the data tells us, is going to make millions more, several millions more than a person that doesn't have a high school degree. Even people who have a trade.
Well, that's not always true. It depends on.
But that's typically what happens, more so than not. So on average, people are better off going to college and getting a degree. Now, something else hold on 1 second, buddy. Something else that I want to make clear is if people attended college, right, and were taught how to research information, because they don't teach you what to think in college or how to think in college. They teach you how to find the information so that you can form a basis for your thoughts. You think tariffs are a good idea. Tariffs caused the Great Depression. You think tariffs are a great idea because it's somehow going to bring jobs back to America. Those jobs come back to America, nobody's going to work in them unless we raise the federal minimum wage, which the same person who's putting in these tariffs is not going to raise the federal minimum wage. In addition to that, products would be more expensive than the vast majority of people can afford because they won't ever raise the federal minimum wage. Like, you guys don't do what we would call dialectical materialism. Like, you don't take the bigger picture and then use think about the nuance. You don't break out, the different puzzle pieces and see if they actually go together. You're just like, oh, that sounds like a great idea. Jobs are coming back.
No, see, and you're assuming a lot right there. For one, you're assuming I don't do that. That's the only way
that somebody would say tariffs are a good idea. That's literally the only way. Because economists all across every news outlet that they can get on are screaming at the top of their lungs, this is bad, guys. So I'm going to listen to Warren Buffett. I'm going to listen to Warren Buffett. I'm not going to listen to, Chris from Nebraska. I'm going to listen to the guy who literally came from nothing and made himself a multi-billionaire.
I hear you there, but you got to understand, you're assuming a lot on assumptions for nuance, because you're over here trying to talk about tariffs caused the Great Depression.
They did.
But you're not relating all the job loss that Bill Clinton gave up to this global system that we're we industrialized China to a point to where we lost it all in America.
First of all, I don't give a fuck about Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton could literally fall off a helicopter into the middle of Antarctica right now and freeze dick down in the dirt. And you think I would give a shit? I don't care about Bill Clinton.
Yeah. No, I hear you, but I think you're assuming I'm a big Republican. I'm not. I'm actually an independent here in Nebraska who, as of right now, Trump compared to Biden was the better choice. I can't deal with the PC shit.
Absurd. That's the most absurd thing that I think anybody's ever said.
That's kind of crazy. We've had we've had 2 stock market crashes. Inflation's up. Gas prices are up. Egg prices are up. Home prices are up. Unemployment is up. We lost.
Okay,
jobs.
But all these numbers. I'm not going to argue this nuance because I feel like there's just a honest disagreement. there's
but all
different
of these
facts
numbers
we're
are
coming
based
from
off of
here.
stuff
No,
that
sir,
Donald
there's no
Trump has
such thing as.
done.
They
Hold
did
on,
not
stop,
talk about
guys.
any
Too
of
many
these
people are
numbers
talking
for.
at the same time. I can't do it, and
Yeah,
the chat can't
I
understand either. So pause for a second. Quentin, go ahead and finish your statement, and then Chris, you can go, and then I have something to say.
No, I'm just saying, like,
understood.
inflation, home prices, gas prices, unemployment, all of these things are up. And it's like these things are all done, or these things are all rising based off of what Donald Trump is currently doing in office.
Correct. Okay.
I would say to that a lot of this stuff is a continuation of the effects of Biden.
Okay. Name the policy
They
that
just
you
didn't.
think. Yeah, sure. Name the
You're
policy.
telling me egg prices suddenly went up when Trump took office, or were egg prices going up for the past 5-6 years?
Well, egg prices were up due mainly to COVID originally, right? And then they leveled back out. And then we had cases of bird flu. And so these major corporations, especially like mega farms like a Tyson's or a Purdue or something like that, that has a lot of chickens on their farm, if they find that in a specific coop, one of the birds are infected with bird flu, then they kill all the chickens in there. Do you know why they do that?
Yeah, I'm in an agricultural state. Yeah,
Gotcha.
they prevent infection, but
Yep.
but
And so what happened was is like right in November, December, we had to eliminate like 20 some odd million. And then in February, I think it was another 60. But that was to prevent an outbreak that could potentially cross over into human beings and start another pandemic, which we know Trump's not good at those. So, I mean, I'm not going to blame him.
I honestly
hold on. I'm not going to blame him for the cost of eggs, but don't tell people I'm going to lower egg prices on day one. Motherfucker, you knew you couldn't do that. Don't say I'm going to lower gas prices on day one. You don't have control of gas prices, and drilling more oil is not going to lower the gas prices. That's not how that works. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't tell people that you're going to end the war in Ukraine before you even come into office and then literally sell out. You went over there and start dangling from Putin's nuts. Don't say that you're going to be able to, you know what I'm saying, get a ceasefire and an end to the conflict in Gaza on day one, and they're still bombing Palestinians now.
And now he's talking about turning it into a resort. Like, what?
Yeah, and then threatening to turn Gaza into a resort, telling people you're going to buy Greenland, changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, saying we're going to take back the Panama Canal. None of those things help poor and middle class Americans. None of those things are lowering gas prices, lowering the cost of living, lowering the cost of daycare, making sure that people have access to health care and food. You want to get rid of the Department of Education, knowing that all the red states in America rely on the Department of Education for children with IEPs and 504s. Like, this is just absurd. This is just a dismantling of any semblance of good that, America could be seen as on a global scale. Like, the rest of the world, if they ever thought we were a joke before, they certainly think that we're a joke now.
I hear you. Like I said, I'm an independent. I'm not a big fan of all the rhetoric that comes out of Trump's mouth either. But as a person who is not happy with those state of politics on the left, more so than on the right, that's
like what?
Oh, everything. The gun stuff. That's what originally made me start leaning right.
There's only been two presidents. There's only been two presidents historically that have passed major gun legislation that would affect you. The first one was Ronald Reagan.
Yep.
And then
but you're talking about Trump's rhetoric right now, right?
Yeah.
Correct. You were just talking about Trump's
video. Do you want to play the video of him saying that he's going to take the guns first and then due process later? Or do you want me to play Pam Bondi saying that they're considering taking people's guns away?
no. What I want to talk about is like you're
hold on.
bringing up Trump's
What
rhetoric.
policy did Biden
You're-
have
but-
to take away guns?
No, but
None.
I'm trying to make my point here. You're bringing up Trump's rhetoric that you don't like.
Well,
And
bro,
I'm
said
telling
the thing
you,
about guns, and I'm telling you it doesn't exist. Like the Republican Party's been using that
When you-
lie for like
when you
40,
have-
50 years now. They're gonna take your guns. Nobody's taking your guns. I got guns.
bullshit. You can't source Trump's rhetoric as your issue with Trump and then turn around and deny me when I watch TV and I see Pete Buttigieg talking about AR-15s and his rhetoric. Like, I can't use that source material as the same issue.
No, sure.
Like,
you can. So you don't
I
think
understand you don't
you
like.
don't think we need common sense gun reform?
What do you consider common sense gun reform?
Well, it shouldn't be easier for me to get a driver's license, knowing that the reason I need a driver's license is so that I'm skilled in driving, so that I don't go out and unalive a bunch of people, right? The same should apply to purchasing a firearm. See, the Second Amendment wasn't written for individuals to own firearms. That was not its purpose at all. And that wasn't decided until 2008 that it was okay for people to, own firearms. And it also it wasn't written to allow people to have any kind of firearm they wanted, right? And so if we're looking at the number one cause of death of children in the United States and we see that it's firearms, well, then we should probably make people go to a training class, get a license, you know what I'm saying? Show proficiency.
Yeah, but the number one cause of death for children and firearms, not proficiency related. It's people that leave their guns out and kids get a hold of them.
That'd be a part of proficiency.
And we do have laws on the book in most states where if you leave your gun on, your kid kills himself, you're going to prison too.
Yeah, you got to say
on
firearm,
top of losing your
You
kid.
got to say firearm. You can't say the G word, unfortunately.
You can't?
Nah, it's a
Oh, wow.
terms of service issue. I know it's weird. But I don't run
Okay,
social media
firearms.
platforms. Yeah.
Well, here's my position on firearms. It's slowly changing as I get older and live and watch the degradation of the American community. I feel responsible fire ownership is a part of being American, and
Okay.
but as I get older, I see more. Like, I have a lot of friends, I have a lot of people around me that I don't trust own firearms, and most of them don't, thankfully. But I don't know how the government can restrict them and not
I
me.
just told you how.
Dude, they asked if you could
Go
turn
up.
your mic
Turn my mic what?
up.
How? Where?
I don't know. On YouTube, I think.
Turn my mic up.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on a second.
They said the guest is so much louder than you on YouTube.
Let me check the gain. Okay, hold on.
So basically what I heard so far is firearms equal good American.
Hey guys, is that better?
Well, I was letting you guys finish.
Hold on. Okay, guys, hold on. Let me try to fix this this microphone issue before we keep going, because I don't want them to not be able to hear me. Give me 1 second. Oh, hold on. You know what it might be? What goes to YouTube and I guess it all does. Is that better, guys? Let me know if that helps out. Sorry about that, sir. I apologize. Is that better? Can you guys hear me better now? Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Okay, go ahead. What were you saying? You said, oh yeah. So that's what I was saying. Hold on. You said that that you don't think the government would be able to like truly enforce that, but they can. And it's how I said, you have to go to a training class. You have to get a license. You know, and this training class should be, you know, a few weeks, a month or so, maybe a couple of months. Have to get a license. And then you have to get insurance so that if you do unalive somebody, nobody has to worry about their family being compensated.
Yeah, and I hear you, and I would be willing to do all those things. Here's the problem with taking that slippery slope, though. You
What's
look at
slippery
states,
about that slope? We do the same thing with a car.
Yeah, and people every day go and get a license that do not deserve to have a license and cause accidents.
Okay, and they have
That's
insurance.
not going to fix
why we
the
require
problem.
people to have insurance, and then their families are compensated. You know, and it doesn't bring back the life, but it definitely, like, putting fucking seatbelts in cars limited how many people died. Putting airbags in cars, requiring car seats, making people, you know, get a driver's license, making people take road tests and continue to renew their license and stuff like that, did make people safer.
Yeah, but we're comparing cars to guns.
Because
like,
both of them have the potential to unalive a bunch of people at one time.
Yeah, but I mean, I hear what you're saying, but that is not. I'm not arguing their potential, their risk to the public. What I'm arguing is it's personal responsibility. It doesn't. You can put all the restrictions in place, change all the laws.
Driver's personal responsibility. You can't name a symmetry breaker, sir. They're the same. These things are identical.
Yeah. Yes, but like like here in America, what I always hear is the common argument is school shootings. You know how you stop school shootings? You shoot the guy who has the gun.
Nope. We've already proven that doesn't work. That hasn't worked. Look at Uvalde. It's not a thing.
Name one school shooter that hasn't been put down with the gun or arrested.
I just did.
Just because the cops failed to go in.
Himself down. Sir, that's not true. Literally, I don't know, fucking how many cops stood outside for 90 minutes.
Yeah,
it was only one person in there. It was only one person in there.
That is one school. That is one school shooting.
What about the kid that went into the church? The kid that went into the church, he walked out. They stopped by Burger King and got him a burger on the way home.
He's probably hungry.
Wow.
Bro, what is wrong with you?
I hear your argument, but you're talking about
right now,
specific cases.
Hold on. I feel like you don't hear the argument. I feel like you're listening to what he's saying, and you're only listening to respond to prove your point, rather than actually trying to sit there and like actually understand what he's saying.
Because he cares more about firearms than he cares about those children. Hey guys, listen, really quickly, I'm gonna take a commercial break. If you're liking the live, please continue to tap. I'd appreciate it if you guys run those subs up. It's, again, what allows us to maintain this platform. Also, you know, we have a lot of things that I said are going to be going on in the Discord coming up, but it's going to require you guys to be there. Early release of new content will be in the Discord. We can do video chats for those of you who complain about, you know, me not letting friendlies up enough. So yeah, hit that subscription goal if we can. And I don't know that we've had a single daily goal donation, but please actively participate, guys. I'd appreciate it. And at some point, I'd like to get back to the FYP. Go ahead, Chris.
Your argument that I am just listening is not true. The reason you are using, you've listened to statistics,
empathy,
right?
You lack empathy for these children that are being
No, I do not lack it.
All because you want to be able to own your people.
See, right now you guys are interrupting me. So, like, it's going both ways right now. At this point, you're not even letting me finish. And then every time I bring up something, you guys counter with one event. Like, Uvalde is one event. on a statistical average of all these school shootings, mass shooter events, almost the majority of them are either stopped by police or end in either self-suicide or they are shot. Hence,
you can't
people
say,
with
you
guns.
you can't say that word either. It's self-unaliving or self-deletion. Sorry, again, not my rules. Yeah, so if we look at the concert, where was that concert at? I can't hear you, Chris. You're muted.
I mean, that was in Las Vegas.
Yeah, Las Vegas, yeah. Tons of people were armed. Nobody stopped how many, this good guy with a gun versus bad guy with a gun scenario, statistically, is non-existent. If we look at the stats, it's not a thing.
But where do you think this Las Vegas shooter thing is statistically such a high event too? Because that guy set up like he had a little kill.
No, I know, I got it.
Up in that.
Yep. I understand.
I know
that's exactly
very rare.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
that's the point. But like I said, this idea that because listen, if you try to stop somebody who has come out, matter of fact, have you ever served in the military?
I have not.
Okay. So then you've never been fired upon, have you?
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
Okay. So this statistically, it's almost impossible that you've been fired upon, right? Especially under duress. And so this idea that you would be able to return fire under duress, having never been in a firefight, is crazy work. Like, I don't know how so many Americans have formed themselves to be superheroes in their own comic book. What you think you would do in these scenarios is unfucking realistic. It's not going to happen. You're more likely to harm yourself or die. We saw that.
I agree.
We saw that with the young kid in Michigan or wherever, where the young boy.
Oh, please do not bring up Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah. So perfect example.
That was it. Okay. Okay, this is a good argument for me then, because I know a lot of information on this.
It doesn't matter. Of course,
How was Kyle Rittenhouse?
Of course, hold on. Of course, you would think that it's okay for a child to go to a protest with the intent of harming people across state lines.
Okay, can I pick apart your argument?
There's nothing. I'm not even going to discuss it with you because it's just going to make what my son said.
Show me intent. Show me intent.
Why did he have a firearm?
So, and just having a firearm is intent on hurting people.
Why would you cross state lines to go to a place where you know it's hostile with a firearm if you had no intent of using said firearm? Not only that, he illegally obtained the gun. Hold on. Bro, you can't say it's protection when you went to the place where you knew there was harm. I can't go in somewhere, you know what I'm saying, and where I know it's a hostile environment, waving around a firearm, and then people come after me and I say I'm protecting myself. Nobody told you to come here. You could have stayed your ass home.
So here's where we'll agree, and this is actually a law I'm familiar with here in Nebraska because we have the same law. You cannot actually legally do that, but this is where you're wrong. He was not waving around a firearm. He had it on a sling and was walking around with a firearm. Now, if he's brandishing and or aiming down the barrel at people,
he pointed at
that would no.
It's in the videos.
Yeah, the people who were attacking him with a skateboard and a handgun. Those are
because he had pointed the firearm at multiple people.
I was about to say,
I watched all the videos. The only video I seen where he pointed the firearm is when he shot the first guy while they were actively chasing him, which they were throwing around fire bottles, trash cans. They're throwing shit. So it's and he attempted to flee before he ever used lethal force.
That's not true. He was falling back.
He was running away from the first guy.
He was falling.
He was actively running through a car dealership.
Sure. Go ahead, Chris.
Even the 18 jurors just looking at this even deny what you said. And also, yeah, what Mr. Jones just said logically makes sense. Because, for example, I conceal carry. If somebody comes up to me and is doing whatever he did, yeah, I would probably draw on them because I'm like, what are you doing over here? Trying to threaten my life. So yeah, even the 18 jurors, right, and the evidence that was provided, even the prosecutor and all the evidence provided and the videos, right, kind of disagree with you. In fact, he kind of had this reputation after this egregious act of a wannabe soldier looking for trouble that night. End quote. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Also,
that is what
hold
I
on.
hear from.
Sorry. Quick commercial break. I apologize. Hey guys, there's $750 left in the goal. There's over 750 people watching. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, and Tip Jar can all be found in the link tree or at the bottom of the screen, depending on where you're watching from. Donations are what allow us to host these platforms and do the works that we do in the community. Remember, there is still families in need that we're attempting to help. I wish Viscountess was around. But anywho, so any contribution, even if it's $1, does help. Please do what you can. I'm sorry, were you talking? Which Chris from Nebraska? Go ahead.
So you guys were bringing up the jurors on Kyle Rittenhouse's trial. I don't have the material to argue whether or not they said that, but right off the bat, if he was pointing his gun at people before provocation, like he wasn't in defense of his life, then how was he not convicted? Because I'm right now trying to source information, because if I'm correct, he was found not guilty. That's all I know of what the juror said. I didn't go deep into what the deliberation or any of that. But here, let's talk about a case locally you might not know about. Did you hear about the shooting of? Let me look up his name. It was here in Omaha during the time when these riots and protests were going on. We had a young gentleman who was being rowdy for the protest. I'm not going to go and take the Republican hard line of him being some terrorist, but he was being rowdy. I get it. You're in a protest. You're mad. He was being rowdy. We had a gentleman pull out a gun to defend his dad. He brandished it and told the kid to run away. The kid took the opportunity to jump on his back and start choking him out. And he fired a warning shot and then fired one into his collarbone.
But if he didn't show up there in the first place, nobody would have went into the dirt that night. He could have just stayed home.
Yeah, that's the thing.
This is an absurd argument.
Right.
Honestly,
people looking for trouble.
Well, because it's absurd. There's nothing. Here's my problem. Right? There's nothing that you're going to say to me to convince me that this is justified. That it is justified for a child who illegally obtained a firearm to go to a place, you know what I'm saying, and take somebody's life and decide in the streets. Because had he not had a firearm, nobody would have aggressed upon him. Mm-hmm. Do you see what I'm saying here?
No, I don't agree with that, because going back to Rittenhouse,
what would they have attacked him for? We have a super chat. We have a super chat from Buffalo, New York. 10 people lost at Top Supermarket, including the armed security guard who was a retired police officer. Absolutely, Adrian Nicole. Absolutely. So, good guy with a gun still loses. Got it. Check.
I hear you. You're going to source whatever fits your narrative. That's fine. What I'm getting at,
I don't have a narrative. I've already said that I don't think that people's firearms should be taken away from them.
Let me finish. You just made a narrative that nobody would have attacked him if he didn't have a gun. Correct. They were actively burning down and breaking into businesses.
I don't give a fuck. They weren't his businesses. Those businesses are insured. That doesn't give you the right to shoot people.
Yeah, plus you
How
like
dare
already
you?
admitted that he had no business being there. Like you literally admitted that point,
Thank you,
right? So
Christina, so much. I appreciate you. I will take
Okay,
it
but
off here in just a
let
minute.
me follow your guys' logic on this. I'm trying to get to a point here. Breaking.
I've had enough of folks justifying unaliving people. Like, sorry, I'm just not interested in listening to people justify wanting to take people's lives. Like, those weren't your businesses. Those businesses are insured. I wish you guys had that much energy when it came to police officers unlawfully firing upon, American citizens. I wish you guys had that much energy for, like, do y'all defend the school shooters like that? Like, Kyle would have ended up being one of those people regardless. I think that's what y'all don't understand. Yeah, the only point he had was, no, you got to see it my way. You got to see it the way I see it. No, you see it the way you see it because it was a white boy, you know what I'm saying, who went and shot up people at a rally fighting for the liberation of black people. That was your issue. Well, they're breaking in stores. I don't give a fuck about them stores. Like, you wouldn't have to. Martin Luther King said it the best. Riots are the voices of the unheard. So maybe, right, if you stop ignoring marginalized communities, they wouldn't have a reason to be rioting. Just a thought. But I don't know. That would be too simple. That would be too much of an easy thing to do, right? Like, actually fix society. Why would we do that? Why would we do that? All right. Hey, guys, multiple people can't call in at the same time. I can only take one caller at a time. Hello, caller. Name, age, and where you calling from?
My name's Brian. Age is 25, and I'm calling from California.
Cool. Hey, Brian from California. Have you had some water today? Said something kind about yourself?
I haven't had any water today, but said something kind about myself.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Would you like to discuss something that's on the background?
Well, I wanted to ask you a question real quick.
Is it on the background?
It's kind of, no.
Okay.
But it kind of has to do with your last subject.
I don't really want to discuss, you know what I'm saying, like gun laws.
It's not necessarily about him, it's about black people. I'm black. You're black. Okay. You were saying that, like, we're fighting for the liberation of black people. Why do you think that we as black people aren't liberated?
Is that a joke?
No, it's not. It's not a joke at all.
Where
bro.
would you like me to start?
It's not.
Would you like me to start with, like, medical racism? Would you like me to start with, like, institutional racism? Would you like me to start with judicial malfeasance and disparities? Like, where do you want me to start? I
just want to start with how black people in America are not liberated because, I read quite a bit, and I've been reading about our African brothers and sisters.
African.
In
Africa.
In the DRC right now, right? That are being used, like slave labor to.
So we comparing
get cobalt for our batteries.
That what you're be doing right now is called, the oppression Olympics. Just because somebody is more oppressed somewhere else doesn't mean that our oppression doesn't exist or is any less important.
But I do think that it could be used as a gauge for us to look at the actuality of and the reality of
so
our
you're saying that I
in
should
the world
continue to be oppressed
in America
because other people are oppressed worse?
People We are
We're
the
not
freest
actually.
black people that
That's not
have
true.
ever lived
That's not
in
true.
the history
That's
of
not true.
black
Can you
people
stop
right
steamrolling?
That's
now.
not true.
We have all of the
That's not true.
resources.
Do you want me to
All
hang
you
up
got to
on
do
you,
is have the
or
agency.
we're gonna have a conversation?
You're steamrolling.
I mean, we can have a conversation,
Well, you're
brother,
trying
but
to
I'm talking
steamroll
about
the
me.
conversation. You don't know what you're talking
me
about. Like you're a
me
child.
specifically.
Number one.
Me
Why are you
specifically.
still
Oh,
talking
bro,
while I'm
don't do
talking?
that.
You know I can just mute
Don't
you,
do
right?
that.
He's bringing no evidence and he's crying. Yeah.
I'm not bringing no evidence. I can show you evidence.
No, you can't.
Okay.
Yes.
So show.
Have you heard?
Show
Have
me.
you heard? Have you guys
Okay.
heard?
They're
of,
not, you haven't even answered my first question yet.
Right.
What's your first question?
My first question to you was, because somebody is oppressed worse somewhere else, does that mean that the person that's being oppressed, oppression doesn't matter?
I think this is.
If somebody came up to you and said, "Hey man, I just found out I had pancreatic cancer," and you're like, "I don't give a fuck about your pancreatic cancer. I got brain cancer," would that be a reasonable thing to say?
These aren't even comparable things.
Tell me what the symmetry
Cancer.
breaker is.
Man, cancer.
Tell me what the symmetry breaker is.
And the idea that black people in this country are.
Tell me what the
downtrodden.
symmetry breaker is.
The symmetry breaker is the fact that we are not oppressed in this country. We're not.
Based on what?
Yeah, you don't know what a symmetry breaker is. Got it. Just say I don't know, bro. Just say I don't know.
Okay. Then explain it to me. What's a symmetry breaker?
Symmetry breaker.
I've never heard that.
I know, because you don't read.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah. Because it'd be crazy to come up here and say, well, I read a lot, and then want to engage in, social discourse, and then not know what a symmetry breaker is.
It's not social discourse, it's civil discourse. But go ahead. Continue.
Hey, Chris, was I wrong?
No, absolutely.
And why did I say social discourse, Chris?
Can you explain your previous what that was?
Imagine this child
Symmetry breaker
thinking that they're smarter
Please.
than I
am. I'm not thinking I'm smarter than you, bro.
Social discourse.
I'm just saying, like, black people aren't oppressed.
Is
and
when
I don't
we're
want to be
talking
told
about
I'm oppressed.
social. Well, then don't. You can tell people whatever the fuck you want. You'd be wrong.
Right. Your fantasy is not my reality, dog.
Right.
It's not.
I can't wait to
about-
post
it's not
clips of
about
this.
that, though.
I really can't wait to
So-
post the clips of this.
So can I ask you a question, guest? Off of what evidence can you base your conclusion on, right? It's called a syllogism, right? Give me the evidence, right? You made it, because I'm actually going to go ahead and back my claim up with some statistics and stuff, but I'm seeing, since you brought the argument first,
All right.
what can you base your evidence
No.
off of?
I can back with statistics. Have you guys ever
Okay,
heard
go
of,
ahead.
Have you guys ever heard of Thomas Sowell?
Of course we heard Thomas Sowell. He's like the biggest coon in the history of coons.
Yeah, so just
Okay,
what's your
all right.
evidence
Yeah,
that black people
he's
aren't-
called a religious ideologue.
Right.
Oh, a religious ideologue. He don't even go. He doesn't even. He doesn't
Oh
even
my
reference
God, bro!
religion as
Have you
us
ever
your
dated
argument.
a woman before?
Just give us your
part
argument.
of his arguments.
Were you raised with a mother?
Yes.
Okay. And when having conversations with your mother, do you just keep talking while she's talking and never allow anybody else to say anything?
You just spoke to me, and I answered the
But
question.
you ask questions, and then before anybody even responds to the question, you start talking again. Or in the midst of them responding, you start talking again. First of all, a symmetry breaker means that there is something that is diametrically different that no longer makes those two things analogous. Do you know what analogous means?
Wait, what did you say? I'm sorry.
The call line is back open, guys, for the next caller. Go be not oppressed, friend.
He's going around telling people this shit.
Good morning, caller. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Do you mind if I get your name, age, and where you're calling from?
I'm Sam. I'm from Michigan, and I'm 18.
All right, Sam from Michigan. How are you doing? Have you had some water today?
I have over here. I don't know where it is where you're at, but it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon, so I'm
Yeah, it's 12 o'clock.
well
Yeah, it's
fed
12
and
o'clock.
well drank.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Have you said any kind words about yourself?
I have not yet.
You should try.
Thank you. I have a question that semi relates to the first prompt,
Sure.
and you made a comparison. I don't fully remember what it was, but you brought up the cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have a question for you.
Yeah.
I don't feel that the LGBTQ community, as far as transgenders go,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it's fully under attack from a.
Thank you, new subscriber.
Oh,
How
I was
does it
so
always
confused
end
at
up
what that was.
narrowed down?
I don't think.
Just them.
I don't know. But what do you mean you don't think that they're attacked, you said?
Institutionally wise, no.
Yes, they are
As
institutional.
far as
attack.
I know, a lot of them. I'm sorry. I'll be more specific. I know a lot of people in the community and the transgender community feel that the funding isn't there for what they for their hormone replacement therapy.
I don't think they're requesting.
Yeah,
funding.
they're not requesting. Can you give me any evidence of them of like the community requesting for federal funding? That's quite literally never been a thing. Number one, number two, right? Yeah, institutionally they are getting impacted across the various amounts of sectors. For example, let's just take the military for example. There is literally no difference between a cisgender military veteran and a trans military veteran, but the cisgender one's not getting their benefits taken away while the one that served the country, right? That's part of the trans community is, right? And that's just one of many sectors. So yeah, institutionally, absolutely. And I haven't even got to like corporate governance or like anything like that. So yeah, can you give me evidence of the community requesting federal funding for these things?
I'm sorry. I was being very specific on the medical field. It's not like requesting. I just heard.
Okay,
Would you
well you just
disagree that
moved
there
your
are people in the
goalpost.
trans community? No, that's why I said when I said institutionally, I said let me be more specific and said
Okay, yeah.
specifically in the
Got it.
hormone replacement therapy.
Well, hold on. What's wrong with
So-
hormones? So you're telling me that a 60-year-old man, right, that's having trouble biogenesis of his own testosterone, right, which is common, that's hormone replacement therapy. So like you got to be very, very specific, right? Because a large amount of men over the age of 55 are doing what you just said. Is it wrong for them to take care of their health because they're low on T?
No, I'm not saying the funding is wrong. I feel like I'm not either not being heard or not being let to finish. So I feel, in my experience, I don't know if you
In my
disagree,
experience.
that there are people in the trans community. Yep, because that's all I can go off of.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
Okay, well,
in my
I
experience, there are
reject
people
your
in the trans community.
Okay. I reject your anecdotal evidence because I have completely opposite personal experience. So guess what the tiebreaker is? Can we get
So I'm
evidence
going
on
to ask
this,
you.
right?
That's what I was going to ask you. This is what I was going to ask you. Do you feel that all transgender people feel that they have the right funding for their
Funding
procedures?
from whom?
Do you think all of them are
Funding
happy
from
with
whom?
Funding from
Funding
whom?
from
for
whom?
hormone replacement therapy?
From
They're
whom?
not
Who
asking
should that
for it
funding be coming
federally.
from?
They're not asking for it federally. Give me evidence
Tax
that they
money
are.
wise.
Give
Tax
me
money
evidence
wise.
that
Nobody's
yeah,
asking
I don't know.
for that.
I'm just
Nobody's asking for it from the federal level. That's or the state or local. So you're making up a problem that doesn't
I'm
exist,
asking
which is a
you.
common tax. The answer is no because the answer is no because we don't have any data that they're ever requesting for this funding for their care from the federal taxes, state taxes, or
I'm
local
not saying
taxes.
requesting.
You said requesting, so
Yes, sir.
hold on, we're gonna
Multiple times actually.
yeah,
Right.
we're gonna take this goalpost and just keep moving it to the right a little bit. So here's the thing: you're creating a
No,
problem
I'm
that
going to
quite
give you a
literally
very
doesn't
specific
exist.
stat.
Okay, cool. We're gonna bring evidence now. Thank you.
Medicaid has covered gender-affirming care, including HRT, with approximately $2 billion spent annually.
Okay.
Awesome. And who pays into Medicaid? Don't you have to? Don't you have to qualify for Medicaid?
Yeah. Medicaid comes out of your
Interesting.
taxes.
So it's almost like, hold on a second. Let's
Yeah,
go ahead
but
and put
all
this
that
picture
money
together.
isn't the whole.
So if somebody pays for Medicaid, right? If you're paying for Medicaid, right? How is that the government just
But
giving funding
hold
out?
on, Chris. I think you guys are missing something fundamental here. That gender affirming care that's being paid for by Medicaid typically is going to cisgender children, for like young girls with precocious puberty, young boys that have gynecomastia. It's typically going to cisgender children, not transgender children.
No,
I
that
just
$2
looked up
billion
that.
is
Can I?
specifically
looked up that
transgender
stat.
healthcare
No,
nationwide.
no, it's not.
I
It's
just
gender
looked up that
affirming
stat.
care.
Hey, Jones.
Hey, what's up, Jess?
Can
Hold
I?
on one second, Jess. Before you,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we're clear on this point. It's for gender affirming care. Gender affirming care is not exclusive to trans individuals. As a matter of fact, more cisgender
No, it says
people.
the $2 billion is though.
Okay. Can you show us? Can
The
you give
$2
us your
billion is
source? Can you
specific to
give us your
transgender
source, and we'll
healthcare.
put it up on the screen.
You went from 2 trillion to 2 billion. I'm having some
2023
suspicions about
Medicaid.
you.
Okay.
Okay, what's the source? Because
No,
I've
I
already
didn't.
got
I
the.
said $2 billion the whole time. Medicaid in 2023.
What's the source?
They're approximately $2 billion spent on
Hello?
transgender healthcare nationwide.
Hey, I know you can hear
What?
us talking. We
What
asked
is
for
the
the
name of
source.
the article that you're reading?
Jeez, this dude is
We
over
want the
here.
name of the article.
Because I'm looking at the Congressional Budget
I'll
Office
find
and
it
it's
right
not
now for you.
agreeing.
Oh, so you didn't even
Yeah,
have it. You
right.
didn't even
While
have it
I'm
pulled
looking
up.
at the CBO and HHS and it's frying
Because I
your
read
whole
it a
argument.
while ago.
Well,
Oh.
yeah, you probably should have had this ready if you're going to
All
make
right. Well,
this
while
dumb
he's
argument.
doing that, go ahead. Go ahead, Jess.
I was just going to ask him, what is his thoughts about Medicaid paying for those with diabetes for insulin? Do you feel like
I
that's an
think that's
acceptable thing
appropriate.
to cover? Why?
Yeah,
Why do you think that
because
us paying with
it's a
our state tax funded healthcare is appropriate to cover insulin costs?
So I got some. Oh yeah, when you get
Would
to
you
it.
would you say it's because it saves lives?
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay. Do you understand that gender affirming care also saves lives?
Yeah, so I don't even think you fully understand my argument. My argument was I was making a comparison that roughly 1 in 3 people are diagnosed with cancer, and along the span of 10 years, it's a 50% survival rate, right? Now, there is
Okay.
$7 billion annually put into cancer research, yet 1 in 200 people are transgender, roughly,
Trump cut
and
that.
they have $1 billion annually.
Yeah, but
So
it's actually not true. It's actually not true. There's not a single there's not a single piece of evidence that proves that. And
Can I
so
bring?
I'm just gonna
Sorry.
hold on one
The
second, Chris.
comprehensive cancer information, yeah.
Yeah, that we're talking about transgender healthcare from Medicaid. There's literally not a single piece of evidence that states what you state. Now, hold on one second. I have to read somebody's Cash App. It says, "I'm a 52-year-old cis-het woman on HRT, you unfrosted Pop-Tart." I like that. You unfrosted Pop-Tart's a good one. Yeah, so until you bring up an article stating that Medicaid paid $2 billion for transgender individuals, where you're going to just have to concede that point and move on.
Can I?
Go
Can I
ahead,
lay my
Chris, while he's
evidence out?
keyboard
Yeah.
worrying.
Yeah, I know. He's looking for it because it's not there, but I'm actually going to bring you multiple sources from the government, right? So we have the OIS, Office of the Inspector General. Wow, they already actually looked into this. So mashallah for that. Also have the U.S. Department of Economic Analysis that actually gives me the breakdown. And then we have the U.S. Department of Economic Forum. So let's go to the Office of the Inspector General. That's their job, to inspect these things.
Yeah.
The claim that Medicaid spending on gender-affirming care for the prorated amount of $2 billion is not supported by any available fiscal research or current data. Now, let's go into what the OIS actually says specifically, right? So they're pleading this is why this isn't the case based on audits. Coverage for gender-affirming care varies widely across the states. As of 2022, 25 states and D.C. expressed including coverage for gender-affirming care only through out-of-pocket expenses through the Medicaid program. Freaking number one. Number two, while 7 states expressed bans on these things, right? Out-of-pocket cost for gender-affirming hormone therapy can range anywhere from $72 to $3,792. And the demographics section, they lay out this one very beautifully, right? So according to this pie chart here, a whopping 71 to 88% is actually covered by the cisgender community, to include people above the age of 55 for things like low T, just like I said. So thank you, Office of the Inspector General. Beautiful work here.
Beautiful
So
work.
perfect. So for the percentage that isn't cis, since you have it pulled up already, obviously whatever this one I'm looking at must be wrong.
You're not looking at anything. You haven't provided. Listen, we will put it on the screen to prove your point if you're right. Like literally, it will go on the screen, and all the 1,600 people watching across the platforms will be able to verify what you're saying is true and accurate.
I just want to ask him. He already has it pulled up. So what?
Yeah. So can I answer your question? I've heard your question. I'm going to answer your question. I've already heard you, right? So it clearly you're not paying attention, which is very agitating, right? So from that trans community, right? Most of it's out of pocket, right? About 90% of that remaining
annually.
Can you? So did you not hear what I just said? If it's out of pocket, is it able to be tracked? Which means they're paying for it out of their pocket without going through Medicaid. Which means it's nowhere near the 2 billion number. Not at all. And I just read that regulation to you, and you chose to ignore it.
So what is the number?
A number of what? So if something's out of pocket, is it able?
What is the number covered? The amount of money that is covered annually for transgender affirming care.
I literally
transgender affirming care is not a thing. It is gender affirming care. And gender affirming care, as I mentioned earlier, is predominantly for cisgender children who are experiencing medical conditions such as gynecomastia or precocious puberty.
So, guest, what you're labeling something that doesn't you're labeling something that doesn't exist. Even the Office of the Inspector General, who I painstakingly read this out for you, where did the OIS ever say that there was any amount of money, right? Because their job is to audit and look at these things for transgender for transgender gender affirming care. It is found nowhere. So according to the OIS, that number would actually be a 0. According to the Office of the Inspector General. Yes, according to the Office of the Inspector General. Yes. So bring me evidence.
That there is 0?
Because you're not bringing me evidence. First of all, the Office of the Inspector General, I'm going to trust over some random ass dude on TikTok. So bring me evidence. Shut me up.
Perfect. I just want to
and it better be an audit.
You believe. Based on what you know.
If you don't provide a piece of evidence, I'm going to move to the next caller. I don't care about anybody's anecdotal ideas.
I will bring you evidence.
Okay. We've been waiting for quite some time now.
We've been waiting. Dude,
Before I give evidence, I want to see if it's even comparable.
Bring the evidence.
No, I don't.
Don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions.
Don't bring. Do it now.
Sorry, hold on a second, please.
I'm going to bring the evidence.
Yeah, nothing will be said. No, sir. Nothing will be said other than bringing us the evidence of your claims. So after you bring us evidence of your claim, then you can talk about whatever it is that you want.
Because you know that you believe that there is money allocated for transgender.
I don't, because the Office of the Inspector General that audited. Hey. Can you bring us the evidence? Because I'm looking at the Office of the Inspector General internal and external audit. You know why I can come to this conclusion? Because they got deep in the financials, they got deep in the whole organization, and that's what they found. So
Can I also
stop trying.
can I
Sorry,
also
go ahead.
make another a quick statement? You know what I'm saying? I don't care if Medicaid spent half their fucking budget on transgender individuals. They're human beings. If they need services, then render those services. I don't give a fuck. Listen, I'd pay 50% of my income in taxes if it meant everybody had access to healthcare, food, education, clean water, fresh fruits and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't give a fuck. Take my money because I care about other human beings.
Yeah, and I got some other sources from the U.S. Department of Economic Forum. They actually deny that claim as well. Okay. We even got a number percentage here on the ones that are banned too as well. We got some bans
Okay,
going
from
on
Williams Institute.
What is
From
Williams Institute? What's that?
See if you can pull it up, Chris.
Yeah,
You can
Williams
pull it up and
Institute.
send it to me. I'll put it on the screen.
I got you
It's
because I can already.
UCLA.edu.
You're going to a
Okay.
university when I
What does it
reference the
say?
people that audited the government.
What does it say? Let's just hear what it
No,
says.
Wow.
this isn't a specific thing. This is at approximately 276,000 transgender adults were enrolled in the Medicaid.
So?
This
Okay.
enrollment figures a
So?
significant potential for Medicaid-related spending on transgender healthcare services.
Potential for? Bro,
Yeah. Yeah. See, guys. See, this is what. So, guys, watch this. He used a
This thing that you
university
said
that
you
just
believe
buried.
$0.
So, I'm going to rebuttal now because I knew your argument was going to be weak. So, guys, he had to go to some random university while I'm looking at the internal and external audit
UCLA 's a
from the
random
from
university.
from.
Wow.
Yes, it is when it comes compared to the Office of the Inspector General, right? Yeah, absolutely. The Office of the Inspector General, whose job is to literally go in and see if this is happening, denies it based on did they look at the balance sheet? Did they look at the expenditures? And plus, your source even said potential. It never said guaranteed.
potential.
No, it says, no. Williams Institute says accounted for around $2 billion annually. Nope. Williams
You haven't
Institute,
proven
the source I
Williams
just gave
Institute.
you, in
So
2021,
how come the
Yes.
Office of the Inspector General denied the 2 billion number because they went in and looked at the financials? I just told you this. The Office of the Inspector General, whose job does
And what year
UCLA
was
go
that?
in?
What year was that? What year was that?
Hold on. So
What
I
year was
asked you a
that?
question. Does UCLA
It was not.
does freaking
What year
UCLA
was
go
your
in?
guy
Hold
saying
on.
no?
Okay, so I asked you a question first, right? So does UCLA,
You
Thank
didn't
you,
right?
ask first.
Look at-
You're wrong.
So did UCLA go in? Is their job to go in and look at these things? And also to answer your question, the Office of
Thank
the
God.
Inspector.
Thank God. Hey, Chris, time to be quiet.
Yep.
Whew. I was praying and hoping and wishing and praying that one of my friends showed up to bail us out. Hi, Eli.
I've been hanging out in the comments, actually, like I don't know, damn near close to crying. Like, oh, please free me, please free me.
Oh, I didn't know. Like nobody.
No, you could.
So I can't because I'm on studio. It's really hard for me to tell. You know what I'm saying? Like if people are requesting, because I'm not even looking at that screen. I'm only looking at like the studio itself.
I figured it's all right.
But anyways,
Chris,
that's I kept looking down. If you noticed earlier, I kept looking down, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like somebody,
no,
anybody.
you're good. I actually came with sources ready and everything. Hold on.
Thank you. Whew. Let's go.
Sorry, I wanted to close my door and it was really loud, so I just wanted to mute myself for a second. Yeah, okay. Well, so I pulled up your.
Before she goes,
No, you're going to be quiet.
Yeah, I'm gonna introduce myself to you,
He's not
caller.
answering your question,
So,
though.
my name. You're not gonna use she/her pronouns for me, thanks. I know my voice
said
might
he.
come across to you as a she/her. Yeah, so he.
He said he.
He/him. Yep. Oh, okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. So then I can tone down that the rage. All right. So caller, I am 32 years old. I am 13 years into my active duty service commitment, and I'm trans. I am very well versed on everything that you're speaking about because I do this all the time, because as of lately, I've had to start fighting for my rights and those of other marginalized communities that, intersectionality really, really plays a part in here. So I did pull up your source first and foremost. And yeah, the Williams Institute, which is like an advocate for trans folks, first of all. It's the very first thing that I noticed. And in December of 2022, the very beginning, in December 2022, it said Medicaid coverage for gender affirming care. The next paragraph underneath it said Medicaid beneficiaries who are transgender are facing a patchwork of policies across the U.S. that leave many of them without access to coverage for gender affirming care. Gender affirming care includes a range of services such as surgical procedures, hormone therapy, and other forms of treatment. Anyways, yeah, the very first paragraph from, this is 2022, meaning God, it's only gotten worse since then. Yeah. So basically, my point is your source is not amazing. I'm happy to pull it up in front of you, but I'd like to, this is one of my favorite sources. If you're really concerned
Eli,
about
if you want to put it in the DMs real quick, I'll put it up on the screen so everybody can see it. If you want to highlight that area,
it's on my laptop.
Screenshot it and
Get
send
to
it to me
the point.
Instagram.
Okay, and well, just hey, don't do that. Don't do that. The host is being incredibly respectful to like everybody here. So, well, I would like to show this really quick, because if you're upset about money being pre-allocated to taxpayers' dollars, well, maybe we should be pretty worried about this then too. So this says the military spends 5 times as much on Viagra as it would on transgender troops' medical care. 5 times,
Oof.
by the way. That's big deal. And money is allocated also towards all troops' care, right? So you've been taking care of me, a trans person, which you haven't paid for my HRT. You won't, because I'm going to get kicked out before I get access to it. But you've been taking care of my medical care for the last 13 years, whether you like it or not. You've been paying also for all these people that need the blue pill. Yep. You sure have. 5 times as much.
For you for the last 13 years.
Huh? I'm active duty. Did you miss that part? I've been active duty for the past 13 years.
Yeah, but I started.
Are you
but I
18
started
years
working when I was
old?
15. That was 3 years
All right.
ago.
Well, then mommy,
Yep.
daddy, brother, sister, whoever your family has.
There you go.
Taxpayers have.
Are you in college?
I am.
What are you studying?
Business.
Construction management, because we have
Oh, okay.
Nope, not business. We have 7 companies. My family has 7 companies, and I'm gonna be running one of them. When I'm out of
Generational
college.
wealth.
So
Nice.
it's a contract.
My question is
my parents worked hard.
Viagra like life saving?
Nope.
Why don't I hear you complaining about that when we spend 5 times as much?
Because his dad uses it.
I'm being so sincere, so sincere.
Five times as much since when? 5 times as much since when? Like overall?
Every single year. Here, do you want me to read more of the article?
Okay, well maybe that's because
you say
what
okay.
was that?
I can
Because
read
men
more.
have erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
Well,
Low T.
Isn't it possible that could be because
The Y chromosome is
possible
degenerative.
Because, we got it, bro. Link for the comedic performance. So isn't that
Bro,
possible
you
that
do
it could be
realize
because
this is my platform.
saying-
Like, people came to see me, not listen to you.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
See,
Just
you
so we're
argue
clear.
with people. Yes, that's kind of the epitome.
Haven't I been
Kind of the
arguing?
epitome of your stream. So
Have I been arguing?
holy moly. Is it possible that the Viagra, I'm not saying it's obviously, I think that's stupid. I heard that statistic a little bit ago. But isn't it possible that could be because that's been something that's been paid for many years to come, whereas the hormone, the HRT has been a newer thing?
No, HRT is not new. We've been using
Viagra.
HRT for longer than we've been using Viagra.
So
I
HRT
mean,
isn't just HRT. Hold on. Hey, HRT isn't just for transgender people. So HRT is also for cisgender people, so all service members. So it's actually far more common for cisgender service members to go in for low testosterone levels and end up needing testosterone. Same exact. And then we also have HRT for menopause. We also have HRT for polycystic ovarian syndrome. Because which affects, if you don't know what PCOS is and you date cisgender women, I really encourage you, even if you are already like with the love of your life, but please, I beg you, get more familiar with the body of a cisgender woman, because PCOS is extremely common and is really negatively impacts. It's when a bunch of cysts grow on the ovaries of cisgender women or just people with ovaries, and then it can cause things like hirsutism, like facial hair or hair on the chest or hair that grows in atypical places. It can cause extreme pain, extreme bleeding, all sorts of things. But I would recommend you get familiar with that.
Luckily,
and
I think I'm safe. I think I'm
the
safe on that.
treatment.
Well, you are.
The treatment, yeah, you are. You don't have ovaries, I imagine, yeah, and infertility.
We don't
The
know
treatment
that. He hasn't been
this- hold on.
karyotyped.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
doesn't have
Well,
any children.
we don't know that.
The reason that I need you to understand this, the importance of what I'm saying, other than raising awareness for people with PCOS, it's because the treatment is HRT. The treatment, most of the time, not every woman does this because you know, some people deny that care, but it's fucking getting put on like progesterone or other birth control, which is literally hormones. So when we talk about how much money is being spent on HRT, which is literally testosterone, estrogen, minoxidil, finasteride, stuff like this, that cisgender people are using, why is it only an issue when it's trans people when you're spending far more money on the cisgender population?
Because this is my point. I work with someone who is transgender. I have no issue that there is funding. The thing I was bringing up, my previous assortment of me stating things was to bring up that number for trans hormone therapy is a seventh of the cancer research when cancer.
But it's not true. Okay, that's it, bro. That's it. I'm about to boot you. We've already proven that didn't happen.
Yes, dude. Williams Institute, 2022.
Did you read it?
Annually. Control F.
Your source literally disagrees with
Control
you.
Oh my God!
Your source,
Can you please go through it with him again? This is absurd, bro. And you're not in college, first and foremost. Your reading comprehension skills are almost non-existent.
And it says potential. When I went to the office of the Inspector General, right, whose job is to literally go in every single year, by the way, not just, not just one time, because that's their job, right? And to go in and look for these type of things, right? So why are you bringing me hold on, did UCLA or University of Maryland or Rutgers or anybody that you choose to use, did they actually go in and look at the financials and the flow of money to see where the stuff was getting allocated to? Plus, it says potential in your source numerous times, actually.
And it's also talking about gender-affirming care.
That 2 billion number hasn't been... Your 2 billion number has been disproven by the Office of the Inspector General. They actually used that number in there because somebody brought it up to the federal level, so they went in and investigated. That's the first source that I read from you from OIS.gov.
Wait, so he investigated it, but he didn't give an actual number?
What?
Hold on, so can you prove your 2 billion number that you've been doing the whole time?
Hold on. No, you just disproved me. So perfect. I'm glad you disproved me. He investigated it. So in that same article, does it not say an actual number?
These folks are not well.
I know they're not. So, Kale, you can take this one because he's just going in a circle. And to be quite honest with you, I might be getting dumber talking to him. No, I'm good. Hey, no. You're not. Hey. You're not going to use my source because you can't come up with an argument. So speak with a subject matter expert. Like I'm quite done with you now. So,
because you won't say the number. You won't say the number.
You keep avoiding my questions. Hey, caller, you keep avoiding my questions, but then you're attacking.
Okay, I get it.
don't
You're right.
I don't care. I honestly, Chris has just handed the conversation back over to me because he's done with you, and now you're not like being familiar with what a boundary is. Chris just said, "I don't want to
I
talk."
just conceded the $2 billion. Conceded the $2 billion. So tell me what the number was.
No one cares.
You're saying you haven't.
Why is it a concern of yours? Why is it a concern of yours?
Oh, $2 billion. What
Especially,
what number?
like, did you vote?
Disprove me.
Did you vote?
Yes, I did vote.
Okay.
Yes, I did
Trump cut funding for cancer research. Are you mad about that? Okay, then shut the fuck
Probably
up.
not.
Danny's silent now, ain't he?
Was hiding it behind
Yeah, no,
the
I
poor
didn't.
child who's been going through cancer treatment and giving him a top secret clearance job.
We just gave $100 million to Tel Aviv University the other day via the M99. Like, okay, we have all this money that's actually being wastefully spent, but nobody's saying anything about it. And then you have Doge, right, not touching companies that go against Tesla. So, like, what is this? What is this America that I'm living in?
Right.
By the way, I think you wanted to know about how much we spend on like Viagra alone. So the military spends $41.6 million annually on Viagra alone.
I'm actually not surprised.
How much is it?
I already heard this. I'm not in agreement with that.
Oh, shit.
$41.6 million.
Jesus Christ.
I'm actually not surprised. That's actually not surprising.
Just on Viagra.
That's a lot of
That's
limp
only
pain.
Viagra.
So
That
I just
really
hold
is.
on. I just want to be clear. So you're not going to give the counter number. You disproved me on the $2 billion, yet you didn't fully disprove me.
Because the office of the inspector general, right? So I'm going to go ahead and say it again because I gave you the number the first time. For the category that they said, right, the number is 0. So,
What's the
like, how many
category
times?
they
This is the third time that I'm going to literally say the category that you're looking for. The category that you're looking for. So now
tell me what
I've said it for the third time. So now you can talk to. I'm not going to keep repeating myself because you don't have an argument.
You haven't said the category. What's the category?
It's the whole topic of the argument that we're having, right? So I cannot believe. Okay, so okay. So now you can talk to Kale again because I have to repeat myself for a fourth time, right? So go back to UCLA so they can have potential little theory. Exactly. You've already conceded already. You in front of 1,000 people. By the way, this filter is dope. By the way,
the $2 billion.
Exactly, which was the whole point of the argument. Thank you so much, Eli, my fellow serviceman.
A counter number. You have not provided.
What
a
is your
counter
next
number,
argument?
So I take that
Right. I was about to say. So okay, all right, cool. So you take it back, cool. Show me where the $2 billion is. So cool. You just took it back, cool. Through an official government source, because I have the office of the inspector general on my side. Where's the $2 billion number coming from then? Since you just took your argument back, go ahead.
UCLA. So how can
No,
you
it doesn't.
UCLA says potential. I'm looking at
And
your
it's
source
not even
right now.
UCLA. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, what is the actual number?
I'm looking. No. You just said that you took it back. Well, I don't have to disprove it because
Yes, I did.
it says here that it's speculative and potential. Nowhere does it say that this money's spent. So, with that being said,
You
thanks,
haven't
guys. Appreciate
disproven
it.
me until you've countered it.
No, because nowhere. Okay, cool. Well, nowhere does it say. Nowhere in here does it say it's being spent. It says potential. Do you know what potential means? Because I'm gonna go ahead and define it for you. Oxford Dictionary, guys. We're gonna go. This is why you don't get rid of the Department of Education. So let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and read. No, I've disproved it for the office. All right, guys. So like, watch this, guys. Potential Oxford Dictionary. Oxford Dictionary. Having or showing the capacity to become or develop something into the future. So they're not even sure if this money is actually $2 billion. So cool. Office of the Inspector General says otherwise. So, Eli, I'm going to go pour another cup of coffee while this dude continues to fry himself with his own source.
If Mr. Jones even wants to carry on.
For me? Can you define what a euphemism is?
Oh my God.
Yeah, Mr. Jones, if you're uninterested, if you're tapped out, I'm so okay. We don't have don't do this for my best interest.
Cannot define a euphemism.
I'm just curious what your next argument is, dude. Because you have some sort of contention with trans people. You dodged my questions. I don't understand.
How did I?
Are you just going to chase your tail?
We're gonna take a quick commercial break. Hey guys, there's 6 695 left in today's daily goal. Again, that helps us to continue to host these platforms. This is very time consuming. It takes a lot of our mental health to do this. And it also is very costly, indeed. We have families that we're looking to help. We do tons of work in the community. I actually spoke to the principal again today. We'll be out there on Saturday. I don't know if our good friend MX Paychecks is in here, but I have a whole bunch of new produce and things of that nature that need to be planted. So if anybody's in the Central Florida area, you can hit me up on Instagram or in the Discord if you're interested in helping us with our community garden. We have to dig some new flower beds, build some planter boxes and shit like that. Anywho, but yeah, there's 695 people in here. Pay links are either at the bottom of the screen if you're on Twitch or any of the other platforms, Twitch or Kick. And then they're in the links in my bio if you're here. $1 will do ya. If, 695 people send $1, boom, we out of there. Goal completed.
I will send $1 because I actually, even though we've disagreed since the start, you're the only person I've seen debating on TikTok from the Democratic side, from any side.
I'm not a Democrat.
Who was in the beginning, and you're not.
Mm-mm.
Okay, pardon me. I assumed.
It's okay.
But you were the most hot. What's the xenia? I believe that's a Greek word, but whatever. I think you understand what I'm saying. Anyways, I don't remember their name, but they asked if I had another point, and the other reason I voted for Trump, or not other reason, the reason, because that wasn't a reason, that was just a comparison, whatever. Anyways, was his immigration policy.
So you don't like trans people or brown people?
We are the two boogeymen right now.
So you don't like trans people or brown people?
What do you mean I don't?
You know what I saw yesterday, Jones?
What's
I
that?
saw yesterday, Jones? I saw a young woman at Tufts University in Massachusetts who was literally left her apartment to go have dinner with her friend. She's a graduate student, and she's here on a legal student visa as she's pursuing her master's for, I believe, education. And she was approached by not one, not two, but 6 plainclothes men, 3 of which from the video appear to be wearing face coverings, grabbed her, ripped her book bag off of her shoulders, did not tell her who they were, clearly, then proceeded to place handcuffs on her and escorted her into a vehicle, and they took her away and gave no notification to any next of kin or family or friends. Her lawyer, she had already, reached out and demanded answers. They refused to respond. Days later, they are told that she is now being detained in a Louisiana detention center, so nowhere near Massachusetts. And they are holding her, their words, not mine, that she has been deemed a pro-Hamas terrorist because of her actions that she has participated in protests at the school that she attends, and that her visa, this is the DHS's words, is a privilege, not a right. So I'm going to tell the caller, fun fact, anyone here with a visa, for a student visa, work visa, anyone that has gotten any type of green card, they have legal status. And every single individual, documented, undocumented, or otherwise, on our soil has guaranteed rights to the First Amendment, free speech, and the Fifth Amendment, which means due process. I find it interesting that you support this bullshit deportation concept when we are watching in real time people that are here legally getting their rights violated and accused of Hamas terrorist organization links that has no validity. In fact, they are not seeing the inside of a court or in front of a judge whatsoever, and they are being deported.
Validity.
In fact, the only reason she's not in El Salvador right now is because she has a vagina. So miss me with this bullshit that you support his pro-deportation. The only reason that Americans are not being arrested for the same thing is because the federal government knows that it's a bullshit charge that would never carry in a court, and they don't have the ability to just denounce visas on American citizens. I made a
How many
video about this and I'm
examples of
fucking
similar
furious.
situations that can you give me?
Several.
Hundreds. There
Yeah.
are
Oh, wait,
hundreds
you just
coming
gave us.
forth daily.
Yeah, it's been
Yes,
happening quite a bit.
there was
actually.
a soccer player deported to El Salvador because he had fucking tattoos. There was a
A
literal
Michael
designer
Jordan
who
tattoo
was-
with that.
Yes, there was a designer who was a openly gay designer that was here on legal status who was deported because he was from Venezuela and accused of being part of the gang, Trende, whatever.
Yeah.
And he had
There was a
simple
young girl,
tattoos that
a
were
cancer
not-
patient
Yes.
in Texas. She's an American
Yes.
citizen.
Wait, does he know about the Chrome facility in Miami?
Oh man. Yeah.
Oh, that
it's
one, yeah.
KRO.
It's similar to Louisiana.
Camp
It's
Chrome.
pretty-
It
pretty
starts
awful.
starts with a K. If interesting enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Camp
Yeah,
Chrome
Camp
starts
Chrome.
the Chrome Krome, where there have already been they're putting too many people in the facility
and
than
trying
the
to find
facility
ways
can
to house
handle.
more in there. It
Yeah,
used to be a
there's- it's-
juvenile detention
So,
center that was
obviously-
shut down for how diabolical they treated people.
And people are unaliving. There's already been 3 people reported unalived because
Yeah.
they don't have enough food or water. They're getting like a cup of water a day.
Several
One
beat
person that's been
severely.
Yep, one person that's already unalived after being taken to the hospital and pronounced unalived. They found that he was here on a valid visa. He had no criminal history, like not a single, like he starved to until the point where he unalived.
I agree with obviously what you guys have just said. I'm speaking on like illegal border crossings from the southern border.
You don't know
if
who's
that
came
makes
here.
sense.
That's not what's happening.
Are you white?
Not technically, no.
What are you?
I'm Hispanic.
Hispanic is not a race, friend. It's an ethnicity.
How do you present, like to the general public?
Are
How do you
Afro
present?
Latin? Are you white?
I wouldn't say I'm white. No, I'm what?
Do you look more white?
If you do you have like
No.
coarse hair?
No. No, I'm no.
Do
I'm
you
like
look like
3/4
me?
Hispanic. I wouldn't say identical. I wouldn't be your twin. No.
I don't know if
No,
he can see
no,
me. Does he look
probably
like
won't.
me? Can he see me? Probably not.
I can't.
Mm-mm.
I
No,
can't
they
see
can
you.
only see me.
No,
Okay.
I have a tanner complexion.
A tanner complexion. Anywho, friend,
darker
one,
complexion,
it's
but-
weird for people who of Latin descent. Are you like of Latin descent or Spanish descent from like Spain, Portugal, like over there? Or are you like a descendant of
So,
people
I'm
from
thr-
Central and South
I'm-
America?
I'm 3/4. My dad is from
Bro,
Mexico,
that's not how
and
any
my
of this works. That blood quantum is crazy. That's not how that works. Anyways, where are your family? Where's
well,
your family from?
my mom's 50%, so I just deduct that, so I get
Oh.
7 3/4.
Where are your people from?
My dad's from Mexico. My mom's Portuguese.
Gotcha. Right. So, little known fact: the Spanish language was spoken on this country's land for well over 100 years before English was ever spoken. From all the way to the tip of Florida, all the way to Oregon. 87 to 88% of all Central and South American people are indigenous and can trace their ancestry directly to different parts of America, the United States, I should say, because Mexico is in America. We stole their land, arbitrarily drew a line across the dirt, and said, you can't come back in here. It's crazy for you, especially as a person of the same community, to say, hey, we don't want you here, cousin.
It's not we don't want you here. We want you here, but you have to do it the right way.
Yeah,
Whether I
but-
agree with the
but
land
white
being
people
stolen or not,
came
those are the
here.
rules now.
So when white people came here and unalived so many indigenous people that they changed the core temperature of the earth, threw so many enslaved Africans into the ocean that it changed the migrating patterns of sharks. Through, unalived, so many enslaved people in Africa that, or before they even became slaves, stealing slaves from there, unalived so many that it erased entire tribes of individuals, right? Came over here, stole land, gave people diseases, and then brought their family members over here who started entire street gangs where they sold, narcotics and prostituted women out, and, were shooting guns up in the street, having duels and whatnot, committing crime on top of hustling liquor, committing crime on top of crime on top of crime. And guess what's funny about all of that? The funniest part of all of that, they're still the ones doing it the most. So one, they didn't come over here the right way. And two, they're the most dangerous people in our society.
I'm not saying they came over the right way. I'm saying that the rules of the land as they are now should be followed.
Okay, great.
As my family followed them.
Do the people in
families.
Israel, do the Jewish people in Israel have the right to occupy their ancestral lands?
That isn't what we're talking about
Yes,
right
it is.
now.
What's the symmetry breaker?
No, it's not.
Great. I'm going to ask you the
talking
question again.
about-
I'm going to ask you a question again. Do the Jewish people in Israel have the right to occupy their ancestral lands?
I'm happy to get to that after we touch
Do
base
the
on what we're
Jewish
currently
people
talking
in
about.
Israel have the right to occupy their ancestral lands?
Again, more than happy to.
W. Good, good, good thinking. I was gonna say, somebody else said it in the comments too, but I was gonna say, what most of these folks do is they say they need to come here the right way, and then I like to ask them, okay, what is the right way? Explain the right way. Explain how long it takes to me, please. And yeah, but that was so disingenuous. Thanks for having me up, Mr. Jones. I appreciate you.
For having me here.
I'll see you around, and I'm always around if
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
working.
I don't like to send out the bat signal necessarily, because I don't know what people are doing or what they got going on. You know what I'm saying? And so just hope that somebody else reaches out and says, hey, can you come over here and talk? Or there's oftentimes somebody already here, like Lainey or somebody of that nature. But I
Yeah, if I'm not around,
greatly
I
appreciate
get
you. I
I get
put that,
signals all
so
the time.
typically I wouldn't even have a topic like that on my panel, but I had it up there because NORAD said they needed to take a nap. And I was just like, oh, okay, well.
Well, I'm off all day today, so I'm on a bed rest today, so I'm hanging out. So if somebody sends me a bat signal and I'm not napping, then I'll come in. I don't mind at all.
Do appreciate you.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you later, Mr. Jones.
See you.
And everybody else in here. Love y'all.
Love you back. Whew, the call line is back open. As you can see, the number on the screen is 407 900 1693. You guys like my new little sticker? My new little sticker, $50 for deportations. $50 for deportations. And y'all can do that as a pool. Y'all can pool your resources together. You can community aid that motherfucker out the door if you want to. Because listen, I've had enough. I've had enough of this shit. I think I updated the goal. We're currently at 680. Let me get this call real quick. Hello, caller. Name, age, and where you calling from. Caller, are you there? Hello. All right. I'm sorry.
Okay, bye.
Right. What was I gonna say? Yeah, we only have 680 left in the goal. There's like 1,000 people in here. A little more than half of you sent just $1 Cash App, PayPal, tip jar, all in my link tree. If you need Venmo, it's NoRads5. I'm sure the mods will be more than happy to send you that information. If we hit the goal today, I'll send out a piece. I'll randomly pick out a donator and send them a piece of merch. I'd also like to get to at least 1,000 of our subs back today. As you saw today, we sent out some a preview of never before seen content. Guys, when I tell you that this content that's about to drop with the people that you saw that are in that preview video, it's about to be lit.
Oh wait, what did I miss? Who was in a preview video?
Oh, it should be on my page now. I don't know. Let me see. It should be on my main page.
I'm not. Okay. Okay.
I don't know. I'd have to go look.
I've been on the phone like 20 hours a week,
Oh yes,
trying
it is
to
on there.
do call
Sorry.
time.
Ooh, shit.
Okay. Echo.
Yeah. So it's on my main page. If anybody hasn't seen
Okay.
it. Well, this page. It's on this page.
Right,
I'm
the
just
one I'm
looking
on.
from my
Got
other
you.
phone. Yeah. I'm looking from my other phone. So.
Yeah, I don't know why. When he said the immigration thing, it just set me off. I don't know why, but I do know why. I'm so angry about it right now. Like I'm just like
Hold on. Why
I'm
did
just angry.
Oh, jeez. Guys, can't you? Well, this sucks. Thank you so much, Sandy. I appreciate you. Oh shoot, let me turn the call line back on. Oh, hello, friend.
You mean me?
Yes.
Hello.
I'm always afraid I'm gonna ruin like your name if I try to say it. So we're just gonna pause and say hello to you first before I open the call line again. How are you?
I am doing, I don't want to say fine. All right. I'm doing all right.
Am I allowed to share your story? Do you want to share your story? Do you want to talk about it?
You're allowed to share my story.
Okay. So, this is one of the people that I've been actively raising funds for. They're in danger of losing their any stable housing. And so I've already sent them some money. So know that, I've given them a little bit to ease the pain. Just a little bit to ease the pain. But these are the types of things, I'm saying, that me and NoRads are constantly working on off the app. And so, like, it's important that I'm saying, like, you guys know that. But I don't want to tell too much of your personal story. I feel like it should come from your own mouth. But that's why, we host the lives and do the education and try to build community. This is why, like, the daily goals are set and stuff like that, so that when people do reach out, we do have resources that we can help them with. And, help people in the local community in which we serve. So go ahead, friend. Introduce yourself first.
So hi, I'm Vicontis Siobhan. I know he says he always messes up my name. I like to say my name, Vicontis is a title, and my name, Siobhan, I like to say is junk Irish because it's not even spelled right in Irish. So, but yeah, I've I have a family of 5, and uh, I married an immigrant, so I have a resident husband. And with the current society, everything is kind of up in the air and worrisome. So when we were unable to pay our um, property taxes, because we own our house, but as the property taxes, and in the state, I live in the state of Texas, and property taxes end up getting really high because it's for the land, not for the house necessarily. And we were unable to pay them, and so because of that, the bank started to get ready to auction off our house while we're still living in it because of the back taxes that were due. And we reached out and we found a company that was able to help us with a loan. And then when my husband was unable to work because of the weather, and he works in construction, so because of the weather and timing and inability to work, we were again back down on our taxes and regular bills like water, gas, electricity, things like that. So things were becoming overwhelming, and I decided to reach out because I didn't have another option. And I reached out to Mr. Jones and the Tough family, and after some review of filling out the application and some reviews of the application and things that I needed to send, they were able to help us, and they did send us some money, so it was a great relief. I was able to be secure and not afraid, because I was able to put money towards every little thing to where it wasn't getting cut off or things weren't getting shut off. And so I was able to keep like the electricity on, the gas on, water, and put a little bit towards the property taxes too as well, so that I could get in a better standing with them. So it has been helping us, yeah. And the American dream is a nightmare, actually. So it's every day. That's why I do wake up and have a glass of water and say nice things about myself, and then say mantras throughout the day at certain times. I say a whole bunch of mantras. I have to stop and just say the mantras and breathe to make sure that I'm gonna make it through. And with the Tough family, it's been a blessing for me.
Well, it's more them than us, but we do appreciate them. Like I said, we're gonna keep doing whatever we can to help you out in any ways that we can.
And I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah. Is your husband in danger of being removed?
Well, he has his residency, he has his regular ID, he has a social. He had amnesty because he came over when he was like 3.
Gotcha.
And so he has amnesty, and we just recently got his passport just in case anything happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like his Mexican passport, because that's where he's from. And I was able to get my passport around as long as also my children that are still currently living with me, to be able to get their passports in case anything were to happen, so that I could be prepared to assist in any way possible. Gotcha. Instead of just let him just go away and we'll go away. And we'll be celebrating our 21st anniversary on April 2nd.
That's amazing. It's a long time to be with a single person. There's some folks in the tip jar. Haley, thank you. And also Jennifer, thank you. And I think I just saw another one come by a moment ago, but I didn't see what it was. Sandy, I already said thank you. And Hannah and Sandy again. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. So I think we're down to I think we're down to like let me see here.
The one thing that worries me the most about is because we do live in Texas, and it's one of the it's kind of lawless down here. Like
Yeah,
the governor is just
he doesn't follow any of the rules. He doesn't give a shit about that.
right. So it's just Hot Wheels is just not revving it up for us down here, and and it's just that's why it's always worrying. I live in not the best of neighborhoods, so I'm one of the only white people technically in my neighborhood. So it's just like sirens every night around here, and possible pew-pewings and unalivements, and schools literally close by that have had those incidents within the past year or so. So it's just not the safest, and so I'd basically stay at home. And to lose my home would be disastrous because I'd have nowhere else to go.
Well, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna do everything we can to make sure that doesn't happen. But I'll reach out back to you again offline. All right.
Sounds good. Yeah, I couldn't type in that I was here because of I'm no longer I'm no longer subscribed.
I'll see.
I think
I'll see if I can
gifted.
fix that. I'll gift you one. Hey guys, let's shoot out some random gifted subs. Let's try to get, like I said, at least to 1,000 today. I know that we can do that. I know a few people, you know what I'm saying, can send 5 or 10 apiece. Let's give out some gifted subs. Let's get people in the Discord. Let's start building actual community because, like I said, very soon it's going to be fundamentally important that we have all of these resources available to each other.
Mr. Jones, if you know, because I don't really know, and someone asked in the comments, about amnesty versus citizenship. I don't quite understand the amnesty that my husband got. Do you know that?
Amnesty can be a variety of different things. It can be Viscountess. I think somebody just gives you a can be either a temporary amnesty or a long-term amnesty.
Okay. Yeah, because I just know that he came over when he was young, and they said I think it was about 7 or 8, when we went back to renew his residency card.
Reagan granted people permanent amnesty, but we gave people temporary amnesty from like Venezuela and stuff like that. So it kind of depends.
Oh, okay. Oh, and thank you for the gifted sub.
Yep, absolutely. And thank you, Autistic Andy, as well. All right, I'm going to open the call line back up. Thank you again, friend.
You're welcome.
You have a wonderful day.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
Let's tap that screen. Let's share the live. Hey guys, can we try to get to like, I don't know, 1 million likes once this week on TikTok? Just one time. One time. Tap the screen. For those on Twitch and on YouTube, I can't see your comments unless they are like a paid comment, like a super chat or something of that nature, and then it pops up big across the screen. So if there's something that you need to say to me, that's why we have the call line. 703-407. I mean, I don't know why I keep doing that. 407 900 1693. 1693. And guys, again, pay links are in the bio. Cash App, PayPal, Tip Jar, and Venmo is NoRads5. Yeah, it went to voicemail because it was on Do Not Disturb. I got you, Katie Cakes. I just got an alert. But I can't see what the alert's at. I must have missed it. Jess, how's campaigning going?
Busy. Crazy busy.
I bet. How many town halls you been to?
Yeah. Actually, I was at one last night, and I am participating. Hello, I'm participating in one as a guest of the NAACP to be a panelist for their town hall they're putting together on Monday, and then I'm hosting my own next month in April in one of the parts of the county.
Okay, awesome.
Because I talk to my constituents, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to go to one of them hopefully before it's too late.
As a guest.
Hello, caller. Name, age, and where are you calling from?
Charles from Texas, 54.
All right, Charles from Texas. Have you had some water today?
Some water.
Yeah.
Oh, man, a while back. It's been a while.
Okay.
I've been awake since about 10 o'clock. Do what?
I said, have you said anything kind about yourself?
Kind about myself?
Mm-hmm.
Not really.
Why not? You don't like yourself?
I just normally don't do that. I wanted to say that the Catholic Church was completely behind the Holocaust.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. New follower, thank you. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I wouldn't say, that they were completely.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I mean, there's no evidence to support that.
Yes, there is. There's pictures of it.
There's pictures of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
There was a concentration camp called Jasenovac. It was in Croatia.
Mm-hmm.
It was manned by Franciscan monks.
That's interesting. I mean, what can I say? White on white crime, I guess.
Do you support the anti-Israel protests that are going on?
You mean the state of Israel specifically? Yes.
You do support them?
Yeah, I'm not for the state of Israel. I'm 100% for the Jewish people. Jewish people are one of the main, benefactors and people that stood shoulder to shoulder with civil rights leaders in the 1960s here in the United States. So,
did you know that
I also have Jewish ancestry.
Oh, that's interesting.
Why is that?
Did you know that Malcolm X said that the Ku Klux Klan and the Nation of Islam had the same paymasters?
Maybe.
They're being controlled by the same people.
I don't belong to either of them. What does it have to do with me? Like, bro, did you just come up here to tell me a bunch about your fringe conspiracy theories?
Yes, basically.
No, thank you. If you're not going to discuss the topics that are on the background, I'm really not interested. That's weird. Like, I'm definitely not about to do that. He got his tinfoil hat on Temu. The call line is back open. Please save me your conspiracy theories. I'm not interested. Why is everybody so weird? When did our country Never mind. That was about to be a stupid fucking question. That was about to be an ignorant fucking question. You know what, Jess? Not one person, not one single person has talked about any of the topics on the background.
That's odd.
Isn't it, though?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I put a decent amount of thought into these topics. I really do. Like, I don't just, throw anything up here willy-nilly. So I don't get it. Like I said, I do wish, and it's my own fault, but I do wish TikTok would stop suppressing my account. Like, that would be lit. Because, like, last week, obviously, like, the kids were all sick and things needed to be taken care of around the house. And so I didn't really have a lot of time. But, like, the week prior to that, we have 1,500 people in here every day. And then, boom, banana for nothing. Literally nothing. So. Do none of the YouTube haters want to yell at me anymore? Where'd they go? And as far as TikTok goes, like I talk about this a lot. I'll see them in my comment section and they'll get muted. Like, people will completely ignore, like, just the mods will be like, nope, mute, right? And then they'll see me on somebody else's platform and be like dying to come up in the box and say something to me. I'm like, I'm live every day. Like, you have the opportunity every single damn day to come up and be angry. Like, why aren't you doing it then?
Did you hear that the military people today in a committee hearing claimed that because there was no direct locations in that text thread, that wasn't classified?
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not kidding. I'm pretty sure it was the same heads that he appointed, so that,
Right.
take that with a grain of salt.
Right.
But I mean, you have detailed account, like, it's literally, what was the name of the, I have the screenshots. What was the name of the troop? Like, you don't know where the location was. Be so for real.
And then they tried to make it seem like the Atlantic was lying. And they were like, oh, you okay for real? You want to play games? And we just put all the information out there. Like, oh, you're just going to call me a liar, huh? All right. But listen, my favorite part of fuck around and find out is always the find out stage. The fuck around part, you know what I'm saying, like, is interesting, I guess, in some cases. Like, why would they do that? Like, that doesn't seem like a good idea.
A Biden era memo, which I find interesting because the memo specifically says that Signal can be used for pretty much a variety of things, but definitively not DOD.
Yeah.
Like, it literally says in there a caveat, not DOD. Nothing to do with the DOD.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's what happens when you allow buffoons to fucking, you know what I'm saying, like, run the country. This is what happens. Like, what did you expect? When we gonna start talking about Hillary's emails again? Or Hunter Biden's laptop? It's in the laptop. The truth is gonna come out. You're about to see. We've been about to see about that shit for like, 5 years? And all we got was a bunch of his D pics. Thanks for the memories, I guess. Oh, boy. Who we got here? An accidental tap in. We got a bunch of D pics. Oh, that's what I meant to say. Did you hear about the him signing the executive order on who gets to decide what is done with federal government discretionary funds?
No.
So essentially, he believes that he should solely hold the purse strings of how all federal government discretionary funds are spent.
Big yikes.
Super yikes. He said they're going to call it America's Bank. And that he's in charge of America's Bank.
Wait, did you see that Boebert is introducing District of America? I'm not kidding. Go look it
Even
up.
after we found out like that audio was like a joke, like AI.
Yeah, she's on board.
We have a super chat, and it says, "Love you, Mr. Jones." Thank you. Oh, apparently I missed a super chat from earlier, and it said that I just wanted to give you your flowers. Thank you for what you do. Appreciate you. Super chats. I like super chats. I think super chats are fun. Because I like the noise that it makes. Are you going to let me interview you when it comes closer to the election?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm not going to throw you no
Duh.
softball questions, though.
No duh. I don't expect anything different.
I have well, here, I don't know if I can still show you. Let me see. This is what your thing will look like. So you'll be in the box.
I actually watched some of that.
Yeah, you'll be in the box, and I'll be in the box. I have to change,
That's
obviously,
fun.
change the stuff from Josh.
Wait, I have to tell you something.
What happened?
No. If they change it to District of America, it's DOA. Dead on arrival.
Dead on arrival is crazy. Oh, man. Some people say it didn't have specifics, dates, times, locations, then technically it's not classified. Guys, why can't you know what's crazy? Is I don't know who the fuck raises these people, but when I was a kid, my parents were like, "Yo, like when you fuck up, just be like, yo, I fucked up." And people would accept it, you know what I'm saying, like more. But nah. Anyways, hello caller, name, age, and where are you calling from?
My name is Jenna. I'm 33, and I'm in Maryland.
All right. Hey, Jenna from Maryland. What would you like to talk
Going
about?
on? This
Thank
has
you, Troy.
nothing to do with nothing. I love the way that you say because. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that, but the way you say because, I love it. Like, I don't know why.
No, I don't think anybody might. So funny enough, it's not from me. It's from my 9-year-old daughter. That's where I got it from. I just started mirroring what she does. Because she'll tell a story. She tells a story, and then like in the middle of it, she just be like, because.
It's good stuff. But apparently we can share high level secrets now. So
Apparently.
You know,
Apparently. But it
apparently,
didn't tell.
and
It didn't tell the specific, date and time.
yeah, just a big whoopsie. Just a big whoopsie. You know. So we'll see what happens. But good
if you
stuff on your
can't
show. I
keep
hope you get
if you can't keep, you know what I'm saying, like even your fucking text messages under wraps.
Man, and I don't know. This administration is just so stupid. So stupid. I can't even think of a different word. Just so stupid and so unqualified. So
nah, they definitely make dumb look good.
Yeah.
They're like,
terrible.
You know what? Just when you thought I couldn't do anything, you know what I'm saying, more idiotic,
Literally.
more ignorant than this, let me show you.
Literally, I do actually have a question. I'm curious how you feel about Black people saying that they're not going to step in and protest and stuff like that. I've heard both sides of the aisle where people say we can't ignore this, and other people are like, well, we're going to sit here and watch it burn. How do you feel about that, and how do you feel about, I guess, those who are saying we can't ignore this, and because it affects us too, and also those who support the segregation and all of that? Like, how do you feel about that?
So here's the problem, right? If we were to segregate ourselves, then we would be leaving ourselves open to be cut out of access to resources.
Yeah.
And that's like the biggest issue, because we would have to have our own independent infrastructure, like power grids, water. And so I think people, you know what I'm saying, should be able to live wherever they want to live. But I think the real issue is that people are going to essentially end up segregating themselves anyway. I think that it would be better overall. I don't think that people should not. How do I explain this in a manner that makes sense? Like me personally, I don't give a fuck about going to your white ass restaurant. Like, I just don't.
At all.
You don't want me there? Fine. I didn't want boiled chicken anyway. I'd much rather cook at home. So
that I can definitely. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But here's the thing. Like, if we were to say, hey, you know what I'm saying, cool, bring segregation back or whatever, and then it just, what are we gonna do? They're gonna move us out of our neighborhoods and move us into different areas, and then, you know, when we don't act right, cut off power in those neighborhoods, cut off water in those neighborhoods, you know, firebomb them like they did Philadelphia, you know, all of those things. So damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, I'm very much so in the middle. I'm like, you know, I get it. I'm exhausted. Absolutely.
You know, and the rules always change. Constantly breaking treaties with them. Yeah. I mean, really, I think that the best idea is for those that are wanting to, you know, rehome themselves. I think that the United States should set up a program where American citizens can remove themselves, but they should pay for it, especially Black people. Like, you brought us here, so. I mean, I'm Afroindigenous, so it's a little bit different, but I have, you know, ancestral roots in Zambia. So if you want to send me out the country, yo, cut me a check. I'm be on the first thing smoking. No problem. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll be out of here. I just find it interesting. I'm exhausted for sure. But but I also get not wanting to get involved in certain things. Like things like as a Black woman, things that I see for sure that are protests and certain protests I don't want to be a part of. And I also feel like they're trying to, they want
What they're
us to
fighting
do those things.
against now, what they're fighting against
Yeah.
right now is what we've been telling them about for fucking
Exactly.
250, 300 years. So nah,
Exactly.
friend. Like, listen, we did it in the fucking 1800s, in the early 1900s, in the 1920s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Now that it's affecting you, it's your bag. You carry this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like we told you, they didn't. We told you, field whites, they didn't care about you either. They just gassed you up so that you would be on board with the way they were treating us. Now, when it's harming everybody, now you're like, hey guys, man, we could really use your help. You need our help? Let me tell you how you do it. I'm gonna give you a peep game, right? I'm gonna put you on game right this minute. Go pick up like some Angela Davis books. Read up on Fred Hampton and Huey P. Go read, Audre Lorde. Go read some about Malcolm X. Like, go read some books about how they did it, and then just go do that.
Yeah.
There's roadmaps in that bitch, literally.
Oh yeah. I definitely have some Angela Davis and Malcolm X books. The other ones I literally was typing in.
James Baldwin.
Writing them. Yeah. Oh, James Baldwin for sure.
I Am Not Your Negro. Never got completed, but still amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they put a roadmap in there.
It's weird times and trying to get others, I guess other Black people specifically, to see it the same way. I don't know. It just seems hard to get everyone on board on the same thing, and that's kind of frustrating too. So.
Right, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
But I don't want to take any more of your time and stuff. I know you need some actual opposition up here, but it did come to mind before I was going to hop off to ask that, because I've been going back and forth with friends about it, and there's some who care, and some are like, I'm part of 92%, I don't care.
Right.
And me being an empath, I'm kind of like, yeah, I kind of care, but it depends. So, yeah. All right, Joan.
Thank you, new subscriber. I appreciate you. All right, have a good one.
You too.
All right. Call line is back open. Call line is back open. If you have a question, comment, concern, 407-900-1693. Yeah, Jess, they don't come up and mess with me on the TikTokies almost at all anymore.
They scared.
Like, about never. Josh Boo, what's up? Teacupped immediately. Hello, caller. Name, age, and where you calling from?
Hey, my name is Don. My age is 26, and I'm calling from Washington, D.C.
All right. Shout out to DMV.
Yeah, so I wanted to...
most of my formative years in the DMV.
Oh, really? What were you doing up here?
Working.
Oh, okay. Where were you working, if you don't mind me asking?
Started out working for Defense Contract Audit Agency. Then I was a firefighter. I was in the car business.
Oh, that's dope.
Spent most of my years in the car business. And then I went to go work right before COVID. I worked for the last 3 years I was there, for working for nonprofits in Washington D.C. Like right around the corner
Nice.
from Capital One Arena. I don't know if they changed the name of the arena again. I think my son told me they did, but
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I haven't been to a Wizards game in so long.
yeah, they ain't been good in a long time.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep up with the local sports. I'm not a Wizards fan, but like I try to support my home team when I get the opportunity to, but they just make it so hard. But I wanted to ask about you said you're Afro-Indigenous. I see a lot of debate going on in online spaces about Afro-Indigeneity and the I guess the presence of
do you know what
Africans.
Afro-Indigenous is?
No, I don't. Not 100%.
Yeah, so my parents have African descent and indigenous descent.
Oh, okay. I guess by those metrics, I'd be Afro-Indigenous too. I've just been hesitant to claim it because I have such little indigenous ancestry.
Are you attached to the culture in any way?
Definitely. I mean, I grew up. I played lacrosse. Lacrosse is an indigenous
No,
sport.
sir. No. Are you attached to a tribe?
Oh no.
Okay.
Not by any means.
Then yeah, don't go out there claiming it. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for that.
I played lacrosse. It's crazy though. That's the funniest thing anybody's ever seen.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I've just like always had a very strong reverence for indigenous culture. I grew up in learning about indigenous cultures in school. Like we did a whole project on the Haudenosaunee tribes and the 13 tribes of America in school. And I just always respected the hell out of the indigenous walk of life.
The 13 civilized
the 13 tribes.
So there's hundreds of indigenous tribes.
No, I was talking about the 13 original tribes that were part of the Sequoia Nation, I believe. So the first 13 colonies that were on the eastern coast of the United States.
Do you know where sequoias are?
No, I'm sorry. The sequoias are in the West Coast. I'm speaking incorrectly. Maybe it's the
Iroquois Nation.
I'm showing my ignorance here. Yeah, the Iroquois Nation. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, the Iroquois Nation. Sorry, I haven't talked about any of this stuff since I was like 16, so it's not fresh in my memory.
You probably should, read up on some history. But yeah, I wouldn't run around saying it though. Anywho, was that the only question you had? Or did you want to talk about something else?
I guess I never fully asked my question. What would you have to say about the debates that are happening about sorry, there's an echo. It's kind of throwing me off a little bit. The debates that are happening about basically Africans being here prior to colonization.
Why would Africans have been here prior to colonization?
Are you asking me a question?
Yeah.
There was trading going on. I know there's evidence to suggest that King Ramses had cocaine in his blood. He had trace amounts of cocaine in his blood. And cocaine is indigenous to Venezuela, I believe, or somewhere in southern to Central America.
Hey, guys, there's like about 600 people in here. 610 in the goal. Cash App, PayPal, tip jar, all in the link tree. Somebody sent me 20 on here, Mark Conti. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you. We're at 590. We're at 590. Hold on one second, y'all. It's my kid's school.
Did I tell you my opponent got photographed with a Proud Boy in the area that was sentenced to 51 months for assaulting police officers?
No, you didn't tell me. That's crazy. Sorry, I had to call my nanny really quickly. Oh, Heather, thank you
Okay.
so much. Heather, you're amazing. We're at 540, guys. 540. Big shout out, Heather.
She
So
also
kind.
the gentleman, the Proud Boy, not gentleman, the Proud Boy also threw up the OK symbol in the said picture with her. Wild decision.
Sorry about that. Had to take that phone call.
No worries.
It's always something with kids, ain't it, though? Always something with these kids.
Oh, here. I'm gonna put the picture in my background. Hold on.
Hopefully, I can get an earlier start tomorrow. I don't have any of these technical delays.
There it is.
Hold on, let me see if I can put you on the big screen. Give me a second. Expand. There we go. Where is he at? Oh shit.
Left.
That's crazy. Crazy. Yo, I swear, these people
Crazy
they
decision
don't
to
even
make.
they don't even care about, their behavior anymore.
Also, she's been buddying up with a New Kent board supervisor in the neighboring district that was recorded, or her father was recorded while they were in a conversation in the car of him threatening to unalive her, one of her fellow board members who I believe might be openly gay. Or if not, he made a derogatory comment suggesting he was in that same statement.
Insanity. And is anybody publicly called her out?
I'm about to tomorrow. Got a article tapped up and ready to go.
Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm.
I swear, Amazon. I told y'all I had to order from Amazon because it's the only place that I can get it. And like they're the worst, man. Just like absolute fucking worst. Can't win for losing. And there's not a place like in Florida, like Central Florida, where you can go buy computer parts. They just don't exist. Which is fucking nuts. One would think there would be.
Soul King, I am running in the 71st District of Virginia, which is City Williamsburg, James City County, New Kent. Does Radio Shack still exist?
Fuck no. They've been gone.
Someone said Radio Shack in the comment section.
That's Oak Tree. I already know. I don't even have to look. That's the only person that would say something crazy like that. All right, y'all. Well, it looks like it's winding down. It's like 1:50. I'm starving. You guys might see me elsewhere, but I'm gonna start rearranging the studio and recording some more content. If you haven't watched the teaser video for the podcast that's releasing, go and check that out now. Go look at it now. Like, share, do all of the things, and I'll see y'all in a little while. I might get on live later, depending on how I feel. But anyways, check on your friends. Everybody who says they're okay is not necessarily okay. Protect your peace at all costs. Take care of your mental health. If you have not yet started your therapy journey, today's an amazing opportunity for you to do so. Eat as healthy as you can. Drink your water. Take whatever medication you're supposed to take. And as always, stay dangerous. Love you guys.
Bye.
Till next time.